No, my get with it. They were playing some game, what they will. Boundary, January, my young. Money, we did a bundle. Mamu's your baby. Was your Makia gets it when I go. Mamma, will be that your way. Mammy, I guess I when I go. Go be war, Jay, no, go be. Mamma, Jana gave you. One day, go away, they show you. What they say, you will honest your way. See, I gave you. Jadolu. Did I did know that you know what to do? Oh, yeah, Jobo, yeah, that's one. Listen, what I was saying, Jello. Yeah, go up there, what? Come on, see how they are, go back one day. You be what? Yeah, you know, see them now. You be what? Yeah, you know, you be what? I'm away now. Right there.
Good evening. So I want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for being here this evening. So who is the Dwope inside Liberia? These and many more going to be the conversation here this beautiful, beautiful evening here. To welcome to the show. What a beautiful music fading away right here. It's on the Diaspora Informative News outlet. We say good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your location. I'm Alfonso Zian, so of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome all of you this evening. If this is your first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. Sandra, good to have you here. Aliyu, Rose is in the building. Kali is here. P. Many Gandent. I hope I'm calling it the right way. Marriott, good to have you here. Please, man, sincere apologies if I'm not just calling it the right way. I should. I hate for people to kind of like reconstruct my knees. But again, we say it. We say good evening. We say good morning. We say good afternoon, depending on your locations. And welcome to the program. I am Alfonso Zian, so of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv here. This beautiful Monday afternoon here. Time check in the East Coast is 8:13 Eastern Standard Time. We'll say welcome to the show. Just do us a favor to invite friends, peers, colleagues, people that you agree with, you disagree with, to the show as well by hitting the share icon, so that they will know that we are having a national conversation, and it is important that they are part of the conversation as well. So please just hit the share button as well, so that they will be part of tonight's conversation. I'm sitting in here. The liberal is up, so he on his own. I'm not going to speak like a liberal. I'm not a liberal. I'm a moderate Democrat. So I'm going to speak the way I speak, and what is good for us as a people, as a nation. So I'm not going to be here to preach the liberal soundbite here this evening. That's why he thinks going to happen. Well, he's on the wrong side of history. So we'll do it our own way because we are in charge, and not just only that we are in charge, but we are on an obligation that the right thing is done. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. I'm Alfonso Zian Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let's get the ball rolling here. It's 8:14 Eastern Standard Time. To all of the analysts, the link is out there, so which you can join the conversation, you can join the talking point. Welcome to the show. Let's get the ball rolling. It's right here, right now, from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Welcome to the show. That's just Reagan, one of the men that introduces the program right here. It's on the Diaspora Informative News outlet. The analysts are about to scramble. And we will start this program. We say good evening. So welcome to the show. I'm Alfonso Zian Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Please just hit the share button for us. Let's quickly do some money making here. There are folks that keeping all that help to keep the wheel of this industry turning. And by the way, you can advertise with us as well, just in case you're here, you're in Liberia, you need coverage of your events and whatever it is, just let us know. And we can also do that as well. Let's take a quick break here, and I will be right back.
Do you want to share your events with the world? Why not contact us? We are Liberia Public Radio, LPR. We are the specialists in advertisements, commercials, radio and TV services. We have the professionals that can help you sell your products and provide live coverage of all events such as weddings, conventions, graduations, reunions, anniversaries, sports, birthdays, baby showers, religious activities, funerals, and many more. Take your phone right now and call any of the following numbers: 682-433-8802, 267-648-6089, 484-786-3337, or 916-533-2048. Our customer service representatives are waiting to take your calls and give you the needed assistance. It is LPR, the home of excellent media services, and your friends in business.
Media services, that's the Liberia Public Radios and Lpr-Tv. We say good evening and welcome to the show. This evening sitting in for the Liberal, but he's actually his own. I'm here on my own. He's absentees. We don't count absentees, so he's not here tonight. I'm here, but he sent his guy, and let's see how that's going to square out here. So we're going to be having a conversation right here, right now. Let me just go and bring in Mr. Gerald Barcom is a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, security analyst. So he's perfectly suited this evening. Let's have a conversation. Let me join him right with him in proximity here. Mr. Gerald Barcom is here, one of the most liberal on this network. It's a close ally to the liberal progressive Samson Broku Brown Toll.
Okay, good.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
I'm doing well, and you?
Great, great. Good to have you here. Well, today's what, Monday?
Well, yes.
Oh, yeah, the liberal deserted you today, eh?
Oh, no. Oh, please. How are you dealing with this, man? Well prepared, well eloquent, well informed.
Okay.
You know, the red wing of this show would never pull a liberal away. So let's get it straight.
So is that how
can come up with all the
is that how
all the suspicious?
Is that how we've been classified now as the right wing group on this way?
The red wing on the show, yeah. You think you're going to exercise us? No, we're not. We are not going to be exercised. But anyway, let me say this. I'm just relocating my office. I've been through where I used to be, so I'm coming down here. I'm trying to set it up. If you see any message behind me, I'm trying to set my office up. They threw me out, so I'm coming here. So that's what it is. I try to find a new office space.
You know what Madam told me?
Send
me a message. He said I put in here because he and I got the tabata on.
You know, one thing my wife would never say such a thing about me.
I will have to relocate it distant completely from me so that I don't.
Oh, that's good. That's good. At least.
Okay. You know, it's getting quite interesting, and we're going to talk about it. It's good you are the guy with the expertise as security personnel as well, with the vast experience. What is happening now, it reminds me about this novel, Tony in the Wild in Jail. When things fall apart, the Falcons could no longer hear the Falconers. It's quite interesting to see what is happening within one of the security apparatus system. But this is how it becomes dangerous when certain media outlets have a sort of high influence in government, or when they help to make government. At the end of the day, all of these surface. We saw the images coming out of a sister network today, that's Spoon, and we saw the argument, everybody in on a defense line. So what I'm going to do here at Mr. Mark, it was a very lengthy conversation. We will pause, we'll listen to the exchange and see if it is healthy for our country and if it is healthy for this government, and what potentially your guy, the guy that you heavily campaigning for, which of course You always hear every night even to articulate his visions, if it is good for him and what he could possibly do here. So let's listen to this, and we're going to have a conversation. Is the system being infiltrated by Fox Media Group? Let's listen to this.
Most people don't know this, but at least let me just clarify something. I'm not a media person. I've never been on the media to say anything when it comes to LTE because the president do not want for us to litigate the LTE in the news. My brother is the one that is on phone. Even though we are identical twins, people always miss us. And I've warned him just to stay away from the LTE because we want to protect the integrity of the LTE. The reason I came not to litigate the LTE because to talk. What I can tell you, we have a cartel in Liberia. It is very strong. People with integrity that come on board to do the right thing, they gang up on you. What happened? It has nothing to do with me disrespecting my big brother, A.B. Koma. A.B. has been my big brother. That's somebody that I can go to for money. And it has nothing to do with me disrespecting him. Before even he became my director and my boss, we had mutual respect for each other. We hang out. I just want to get a record straight with people saying it's about disrespect, me disrespecting my. I'm not going to go into detail. The reason I came on the show is because Fatima, someone whom I respect a lot, for her to come and lie. You and all are able.
Okay, we're going to get there in bits and pieces. That's one of the apparatus, security apparatus. This thing has been ongoing for a while. You know, people try to brush it out. I just thought of getting your expertise, the danger involved. You have the boss and the immediate deputy that are having this, and it's gone over it's over the top already. It's more little personal. We're getting to know people who were the influential, who getting what and what getting what, and other people accusing other people. Now they are close knit, of course. In every society, people always gotta be close with the authority. But when they sit on the media outlet and we see how they are present in government, which of course you campaign for people at the end of the day, there's a political kickback. I don't think the president is happy with what is going on, whatever he is right now. Let me just tap into your expertise. If you see this happening within the security apparatus, where you see the boss and the principal deputy, there are some sort of rough edges, and it's getting to this point. What possibly the president could do? Well, he's
Fire them, suspend them, fire further investigate. But I sent you the link before that talk. Can you please play that link where they were playing it? I think I sent a link to you on the show. If you can play that.
You mean when the went at the office today?
Yeah, when the EPS or when the police people were going there. If you got that link.
Yeah, okay. I think there's one here, courtesy of his phone network. I believe that's it. Yeah, but I will bring in that. But let's try to get a sense of this here, because this is something that were in people. They deny nothing was happening. They were sitting, they were still carrying on operations, but still there were things breathing on the ground, and now that's the outburst we are seeing right now.
If you can recall, I think about a month or two ago, I made a statement. DEA personnel, from our perspective or from DEA perspective, we don't sign agent to assignment for more than 2 years. There's a reason. Or maybe 6 months, minimum 6 months, maybe 2 years, maximum 2 years, minimum 6 months. Because there's a reason. Because drugs is very tempting. It comes with lucrative money. And these are some of the issues. I mean, I will go into detail I will go by. But the question here is integrity. It is integrity. When the president appoints you to these responsible jobs, we have to take it very seriously. And what is the morale of that organization? Their brothers in arms, the people who you're going to arrest, they are not going to give you bunya. You are not going to go on a honeymoon. You're not going to go party. These are people you don't even know their intent. So for the deputy and the principal publicly to do such a thing is a very humiliating, from my perspective, as a law enforcement. It is not present within our code of ethics. The officer, the junior officer that you are sending on the field, why you think they would think about you as they go on the field? Who have their friend back? So it is very, very disappointing. It is alarming. I believe, even though the president is out of the country, but there should be a authority who will step in right away instead of waiting for the president to react or to act. Because he got deputy minister, under the Minister of Justice, or the Minister of Justice. I don't know whether the Minister of Justice went with the president, but also we have the National Security Advisor. We have a lot of authority in that place there who can step in and able to address the issue, because these people that we are talking about, they are armed, I believe, because drug enforcement, you don't just want to go on the field and there's an arm that all assigned to you. Let me go farther back. If you can recall, Dishiu, Robert killed
in
the 80s. Robert killed Dishiu. Wow, it was for proceed business. I'm not saying this alleged for proceed, but you see, when people get armed, this is why when you are trained, they make you to be somebody who is your brother that you trust that can go in the password, especially you're going to do a raid. But these are things you have to take into consideration, especially when you are a boss. Even if my subordinate, where I work, I help people honor me, I supervise them, but at some time when they say something to me, I have to bite my lip. And because I'm in charge. I don't want to lose control because there are other people who are watching what my action going to be. So when you're a boss, there are certain things you didn't just, even your subordinate might disrespect in the public, but you as a boss, you have to be in control as a leader. But I mean, the gangster behavior, it can be tolerated in Liberia, especially in our law enforcement. It's a shame. Moreover, it's a media institution we are in today. Whatever you do, you on TV, you on camera. So you got to be very attentive where you are in your private life, more on your professional level. So as a leader, even if Fatigue has said something to him or disrespecting, there's a principle you follow. You as a leader. So I'm going to pause there for a little bit. Maybe you have more questions, but integrity is important.
So I think it's important that we keep on this conversation, and trust me, we're going to play the excerpts of that tape. But do you think all is off the table at this point in time? We want we want security, we want leadership in every sector, agency, security apparatus, land ministries, and agency. We want some sort of leadership to be restored in those places, because that's all help to make the government to be a mature government. But seeing what is happening now, is the cup overfilled?
I mean, definitely.
So what happens if the president decides to give them second chances? This thing's been ongoing for a while, except it has not escalated to this level. But people that are close to this, they are being sort of internal wrangling within that DEA. It's said because of other people perhaps trying to crack down this whole drug thing, which of course is a money-making thing. And of course, there will be other people who will feel that they are kicking against the system, but they are not in reality because they know the kind of kickback they are getting under the darkness of clouds that we don't know, you don't know. And so we can adjudicate those people here. But at this point in time, do you think these two people, two individuals, the deputy, in fact, one of the Fadigas and one of the other deputy also starting with AB Command. Do you think is at the time all the security, special committee on security from the House, Senate, should they come in to do their investigation, or this strictly with the presidential?
Well, the president had the power to fire the people or to suspend them, whatever. All the House can do is to do, they are responsible for oversight investigation. And they can recommend to the president and say, AYZ, two principals need to be released of their positions. But they can't fire them. Yeah. Except whereby they didn't, when they summon them to go to the Capitol building, they refuse, then they can charge them with contempt, and that can lead to incarceration, what have you. But they don't have the power to fire them, but they can make a recommendation to the president. So say, or they can call the minister, just say, look, this is what's going on. We need to the Attorney General, because I believe the DEA fall under the supervision of the Attorney General.
Right.
So I mean, these are procedures that will go through, but this is unbearable. The DEA is always in the news, and I keep saying it, and I said it on the show over and over. Drugs is very tempting. That's why we don't keep people on the assignment for a very long time. It's a lucrative. I think if you can recall, I will talk about it.
Yes.
Watch your personal lifestyle. Jerry Bacon, as signed to Rawafi. When I used to go to Rawafi, I started riding taxi. 3 months later, I go into work with a BMW. When you go look, I was living in a 1-bedroom with the same salary. When I look, I've been in a duplex or mansion. So these are the things, because drugs is very tempting. Moreover, the people who you go on an assignment with, over your carry on, they can set you up. So the morality of that place is very, very bad. It's a bad signal for the government. It's a bad signal for the department. I think it's about time for separation. The three principals, the deputy, the director, and the assistant director, it's about time. You change the leadership. They are not the only person who trained that department. We have qualified Liberians. Broad, qualified. More qualified. I'm not saying they're not qualified. More experience.
Let's listen to the deputy. Elvis, check your lane. Let's listen to some of the things that happened this evening on Spoon Network.
Go to the and can we call him Vanessa Fire from Kilo? Yes, let me do it.
Okay, that was the time they were trying to get.
Because I was very instrumental in AB making sure that he became a deputy. AB said, Fatu, I have to know the president. I said, no, that my brother, hire him. Please talk to the president. You're shaking your head, but you know the truth. I was very instrumental in making that boy deputy director.
Let me pause you a little.
Let me stop this fire. That was one of the panelists on the Spoon Network making this sort of public declaration was very, very much instrumental, playing the key role, making this guy to get the job, because there are a lot of things playing out here. But we did hear there was also going to be a vetting committee. Anyway, I don't know whether she's a lobbyist, to push people line, but we all know the relationship. We're not going to go there, but she's been very boastful. And you hear one of the other Fatigas, and even the deputy himself came because of a close proximity, the president, the vice president, and all of that. Was that a good thing on her side, even if she was instrumental? People can introduce people to people. Connections in politics is natural. It's a natural phenomenon. Was that a good thing for her to have made this sort of such a public, in the middle of this sort of high tension here, to come and make such a pronouncement? If you were somebody that did something to favor with me and things when when things ready to shake, when the bush ready to shake the table, you can go to that extent to make these sort of public declaration?
No. Here's the point. We all are trained in a different level. And sometimes when things happen, people get carried away. Especially when you're on, you must have sitting right here now, and you're being bombarded with questions. There are some people who cannot stand pressure, and they get excited, or they say things before they think about it. But there's things that you say, I recommend that individual. I personally, Jerry Bacon, would never, ever, even if I recommend anybody to be press secretary to the president or to be advisor to the president, as much as I know Mr. Barker, Excellency. No, there are certain things you don't review. And that's something for you to validate your credibility, your connection with the president.
Yeah, in the interest of fairness, the both gentlemen, they are qualified, they are competent. But the question now becomes, how many of those people, how many of the hating guys or hating folks that we do not know that were influential, instrumental in giving people jobs? We've seen people being appointed, appointments being withdrawn. This is not the right list, this is the other list. It has happened multiple of times. So the question now becomes, how many of these people that have been instrumental behind the scene to make sure that people get these things? Is that concerning?
Yes and no. I mean, we all have political.
Oh, you say yes.
Yeah, what I'm saying. Yeah, it's concerning. I say yes and no. Yeah, why? Yeah, why? This
is not a Shaman Brand show, 1980 contest.
No, but listen, I have to say yes and no. I say yes and no because here's the reason. The reason being is we have political connection, and there are people who will twist hands for you to get a position based upon your connection within that intercycle. No, it is not right to be done. That's what I'm saying. We have political connection. Even in the great United States, people have done the worst thing and they still appoint them to a certain level. So that's what I am saying. That's what I am saying. Let me go. I just want to say this quick. I know other panelists are coming, they want to say something. I came with the word integrity. Look up, if you can recall, my friend and O.J. Simpson case. He was a leader investigation. And what F. Billy asking, have you used the N-word? So if you as a DEA officer, and all these things are watching the public, if there's an individual or company or money laundering, the defense lawyer might use some of the things that are in the public. So I ask you, when you're sitting as a witness or expert witness on that stand, the question will be asked, who are you? Have you involved in this? This is the question. So when you are a law enforcement officer, your integrity is important as an investigator. So not just going to arrest somebody and take them to court for them to be prosecuted, but your involvement. What are your character? They will attack your character, the prosecutor or the defense lawyer. So we have to take all the things into consideration. So with the DEA right now, it is not going well in Liberia. Let's be honest. And that's not the local right now.
Okay. Sister Goya is here from Minneapolis, Minnesota, academic change advocate. Is that a new one? Or I say one of
you don't see me the video, yeah, Matilda Nipo and her friend. The people that are leading small, and the new people are following the video that Matilda Nipo there. That cannon where she fire with her pipe, and then from there she go design flare right after that. The whole two flatting where the different.
Why don't you come to Rhode Island and do your investigation because you were born right here in Rhode Island?
I say she wasn't born. That's not a question. The
question but I just saying something.
No, but when you say she was born in Rhode Island, like you think I'm saying she was not born. The point
I never accuse you of that. I never accuse you. I just make a statement. So don't be so defensive. I just make a statement.
Defensive because I'm doing an investigation. I said pipe.
Exactly. So then you still got to know origin. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, guys. Let's. Y'all from there last week. What happened today?
Because I don't understand our logic. I'm not investigating her birth. I'm investigating, like I said, that she fired a cannon. So I don't have to investigate her birth in Rhode Island.
All right. Okay, we'll come to that.
Fire a cannon.
All right.
Okay.
And
Okay,
her
guys.
and be in to design a flag that the owner took the American flag at the time, took 28 stars for there and 3 stripes and 2 stripes and say they designed something. That's the point I'm raising. I ain't got time about her existence. I got time about the heroification of her.
Okay, guys.
All right.
Good evening. Welcome to, let's see this news, whether it's a news, it's making headlines or whatever the situation. Let's have a conversation. It's all about our country. All we are. ECOT is the best out of the country. Sister Goya, good evening. Welcome, man. Evan Morris, also from Minneapolis, Minnesota, contributing here on LPR. Oh,
I like your profile picture. Take the camera off again. Let's see it. you see the main profile picture. Take the camera off. Ever still it on one more time, please. 3 steps for the camera. We're not looking.
My whole picture, my whole face not showing. About our young boy now looking rough. So
you know, we actually
you know that all the things the woman in left. So you know, our profile picture looking for traffic to cut through. So
they're trying to jam the traffic, right? Okay, guys.
So that just so you know, I see you for a while. So I saw the picture. I said,
all right. I'm here in for the Liberal this evening, but on your own. I'm not even gonna mention his name. He was telling me call my name 555 times. For what reason? Come on. Okay, guys, let's have a conversation. I think this is news is something that is concurrent, something that is happening. And I think it went on a different level today, and we're seeing what is playing out there. I believe the president is still out of the country, and that's a major security apparatus. Of course, the DEA, the president. It was one of the things to fight the drug because it's killing our society. It's causing harm to our generation. Okay, sister, let me just bring you in here. You can talk whatever you want to talk if you have other things specific, but I'm just jumping to this because I think something needs to be done ASAP. To have 2 bosses, 2 top persons controlling a major apparatus of government to be in this sort of fight here, it's concerning. I think somebody needs to step in to get it done. Is it? What is lacking here? Why this thing we've been hearing it for quite a while, and people try to kind of like sweep it, but eventually it spilled out today, and it speaks for itself. What's the reaction when you see things like that? What do you think going on?
Look, I will leave the security implication to Mr. Barkon because that's his area, and we will cede that to him. But what I can address regarding the issue is the leadership piece of it, regardless of what institution it is. When you build a team, you hopefully want to build a team that have people with varying positions. Because as a leader, you want those people to be in the boardroom or in your cabinet room or wherever, so that there can be competing ideas and you can come out with the best. However, you have to ensure that disagreements, when they are had respectfully, and people are disagreeing to move the argument forward, not just to be disagreeable. And the place in which you have the disagreement. I'm on a school. I lead a school here. My budget got slashed. This is an example. My budget got slashed. They took 75% of my team, and they added extra 15% workload on me. So you took 75% of my team and you increased my workload. I wasn't happy. But we did the argument, we did the screaming, the intellectual screaming in a room. When we get us out to the school board, I have to defend that budget. Because I laid forward what I felt was going to be harmful, and my ideas did not win. So I said, okay, how do we move this forward? So I am disappointed. I know the 2 people that are having these issues, I have a lot of respect for the both of them. But, one thing that is puzzling me is, what is their term of reference? Because when you get hired, it tells you who you report to, what's the chain of command. Is there somebody not reading the chain of command? Or is there, because again, like I said, I will see the Jerry Barker on this because I haven't looked at the LDEA and their chain of command and what it's supposed to work like. So I'm gonna state my ignorance on that. I'm just looking at this holistically from any functional leadership role. Right? There is a chain of command. There's somebody that you report to. There's somebody who has the final decision to say in their department, in their entity. So who is that person? And at what point does the deputy continue to push the head? At what point does it become gross insubordination? At what point? And like I said, I respect these both brothers, but the problem for me here is it's going to lay squarely at the feet of two people: the chief of the LDEA and the president of the Republic of Liberia. Because if, and this is an assumption, if the chain of command is that the chief of the LDEA has the final say in the operation of that entity, then why is he allowing his underman to continuously disrespect him? Let me just, for a lack of better word. And if that is not the case, if he doesn't have complete control and authority, then the president of the Republic of Liberia, through the Minister of Justice or through his national security advisor, whatever it is, should have nipped this thing in the bud a long time ago. So for me, I don't know the security implication because that's not my place, and I'm not going to try to venture into a place I don't know. But I'm just thinking about if I were running even a school with a principal and a vice principal having these kind of things. It's crazy. And the fact that you couldn't just disagree in-house, you have to come on platforms to state your disagreements. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed.
A little bit disappointed. And I think somebody is rightfully located at this event. They already bought their bubble gum. I've been getting messages from institutions, crazy, going nuts now. People are the breakable there, and now they're going to break things now. Look. But Elvis, the president is out of the country. And I'm quite sure it's normal. I believe some briefing is being provided already. Let's play into the minds of the president without being definitive. We don't know what they're going to do, what are investigations, what are the details that's being provided. But what ultimately do you think should be done? What could bring this thing to an end? It appears now, I don't think that that boss and deputy reporting, I don't know whether it's a power struggle or I'm not supposed to report to you, or I am the operation guy. I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do. The big man, on the other hand, I am the rooster of his home. I should be the one to crow before any other baby chicks crow.
Right.
Who can settle in now at this point in time?
All right. Thank you, Mr. So, and hello to the other panelists. I think the crux of this issue and the genesis of this issue is cronyism. And we saw the confession on, I didn't watch it, but like you played the clip. And this is not a gossip platform, but we need to inform the people. Fatima Sharif, who was the daughter of Ramama Sharif, was married to Abi Kroma and had a daughter together. So that's his ex-wife. So the reason I'm saying cronyism is because that guy got that job because Stanton Witherspoon, he supported Stanton Witherspoon in his trial, went and testified on his behalf as a character witness, along with Fatima Sharif, also vouched for him to her ex-husband that he needs to be there. Not because he's well qualified, but because that's somebody that they know who have some experience in that field. And once he got, accepted or his name was being placed as, director of DEA, they wanted, the Fadiga, one of the Fadiga brothers to be his deputy. Not understanding the working relationships and not understanding, like Mr. Goya was saying, if this guy is somebody who's going to be, collaborative and be able to work with Abi Kroma, that's the hubris that we who are in this country we have when we go to Liberia. We think we know more than the people who are on the ground. The way we can do it in America, that's not how you doing it here. In America, we do it like this, we do it like that, we do it like that. In Liberia, it's not America. Although we know the professionalism in this country is a lot higher. But the reality is, if you have a boss, you don't tell your boss how to do his job. He tells you how to do your job, and he gives you instructions on how on what he expects from you. So my point here is that this guy is trying to usurp the role of his superior. and it's grossly disrespectful to Abi Kurma. Abi Kurma is not somebody who is joining just up. He's serving that government at a high level in the security sector. And for most people would say he performed well, at least under the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time. Some people may disagree, but at least it was somebody who we knew was getting the job done. I think he was Deputy Inspector General of Police or something like that. So the Fadiga brothers and myself, I've gotten into it with them because I said it on other platforms. I think they're political BMs. They hop from place to place looking to curry favors with these political leaders in hopes that when they get into power, they can get some position. And this is the case in point now. President Boyka, maybe they didn't even have any kind of close relationship with any of the Fadiga brothers, but because of Stephen Witherspoon and all that he did for the old man in helping to get him elected, put this name forward in a crooning way, and now he got this position where he really shouldn't be in that position. Maybe not even because he's not qualified, but because he doesn't understand the standard operating procedures of drug enforcement agency in Liberia, and he wants to do it his way or the way he thinks he understands it to be done in the United States. And that's the issue. And that's why people have been saying President Boyka, most of the people that he appointed, or some of the people that he appointed in the government, he's never met them. He never even had conversation with them. Because some of these people was forwarded to him as favors, as reciprocal favors for the support that they gave him during the campaign. And that's where our government will always struggle when we don't put the most qualified people there, the most experienced people to head these different agencies and departments.
Let me hold you. A lot like join the red line, and I'll have the other guys to respond to that. But let's welcome Jones Octavius Mallet. Now we're going to have a real independent conversation. You have Jerry back on, Tabata saying something to he's not here tonight. I believe he's going to champion this sort of thing here, but I think he's on your own. Sissy, I want to move with you tonight. You already started by soon as you walk in, you started with your
me la puedo bajar en shizo. A bluff boy.
So you want to be the Rick Chaff or LPR? Okay, Mr. Jones, good evening. Welcome.
Oh, good evening. Good evening, the rest of the panelists.
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Dr. Jones?
You call him Mr. Jones now, the man degree me get
Doctor Emeritus.
This our coalition is holding fire. Don't stop. He's not going to accommodate you. I don't care what I made mistake. He will not accommodate you. I coming down on this network. So where you at? I know Jones checking you. You waste your time. So Dr. Jones, good evening. Welcome. So
thank you, sir.
Now, y'all listen to Evis, what Evis is saying. That's another version of the reactions. And actually, they give them the bubble gone down to really true. And I mean, who called me today? I was awake in the middle of something. My own man, I was not calling him. You see what going on in Liberia? So I said, okay, what is that? I'm sending the video to you right now. Oh, hello. He expedited the video right away. But look, on a serious note, I'll bring you in, Dr. Jones, but let me get the quick reaction from, let me go to back on the Washington. Let me go to him first. You heard Evis. I wouldn't be surprised they're going to be the talking points of not just on the seditions, but opposition and say, oh, we told you. This guy, he was appointing some people he doesn't know from nowhere. And this has been validated by the argument and the talking point that we are hearing people now, how what about the date, which of course people can make recommendation, but to just come on a network like that to say it, and the question becomes, how many of those that we do not know about? Does he have a point, Harris?
Nah. You have close to 5 million people in the country. Let me ask you a question. We are saying in the United States of America, do you know Joe Biden know all his appointees or the governors of his state, Connecticut? He know all his appointees? No, people recommend people.
In Minnesota.
No, I'm talking he in Minnesota. Okay, I'm sorry. In Minnesota. Or the governor. He know everybody? No, it's a recommendation. This person is qualified. It's a chain reaction. This person is qualified. I work with him. I work with her. So they send these people to the governor, and the governor have to do a vetting process for that person to be appointed to the in the offices. So the governor will not know everybody. But based upon, like you can call me now and make a recommendation to Joseph Walker. If I don't know Joseph Walker, and say because of Jared steady in the area, we can call him. We can commendate him in the position. You don't have to know me personally before he can appoint me. If we do that, Liberian people will say travel less days and all the issue. But yes, the issue I'm going to focus on. It's a national security issue. I don't go afar to say it's a security crisis, but it's alarming. It is time for the leadership or the Attorney General or the Minister of Justice, while the president is out of the country, if he didn't travel with the president, it's time for him to step in. The chairman of the security affair or the lower house or the upper house need to come in right away because it's a serious matter. The drugs is coming.
Let me see what I send that link.
There's a serious matter. The drugs people are dying in our country. We got all the Zogo in the street. Our children are dying with drugs, and it's not a plain matter for these three gentlemen to sit in office and display their they're very unprofessional. Even if the three subordinate, you as a leader, you have to take some leadership responsibility.
Mr. Collins, please check your link. I'm not sure what I sent for it, but I check your email, please.
Mr. So 10 seconds to rebuff Mr. Barco. Just 10 seconds. I just want to give you one example. Example.
No, hold on first. You open the room, so just wait until the other people do fire. Mr. Goya.
Yeah, I don't see it the same way as my brother Elvis sees it. However, if we're being purely political, then yeah, they have a point. They have a goal to score. As it's a free inside-outside pass. Yeah. Yeah, somebody break outside trap. So they made him and they would shake at me. If we're just talking purely political, and the fighting guys have been they're political animals for a long time. So you know the chicken is coming back home to roost, if I might use that. But I will be doing a disfavor to our audience if I didn't say that I've known the fighting guys for a long time. As a matter of fact, one of their kids were in the school when I was teaching there, so I've been knowing them for a long time. He does have the experience in law enforcement in this country. He does have the credential, so he is qualified. I think the only problem we're having here is a matter of leadership and leadership style, and maybe it might also be hubris, if I should borrow Elvis's terminology. That okay, we all maybe campaign for this government, and you can't tell me what to do. So now we're all trying to flex muscle. But I don't think that has anything to do with the qualification or the competence of Mr. Fadiga. I mean, he does have the experience. Now, having said that, I want to remind my brother that even the just ended CDC government, George Weah did not know all of the people that he appointed. That is the reason why you have vetting committees. You have people in power who vet nominees, and even in this great democracy, you have people who are called bundlers. When there's during election time, people who raise a lot of money, they're called bundlers in American democracy fundraiser process. Those are the people that become ambassadors. Those are most of the people that usually will recommend people for certain positions. That was how the majority leader of the House, wife, became a secretary during the Trump administration. So those are everywhere. So to say that because Buakai has not had a physical interaction with these people and he's hiring them, that is a failure, I think that kind of muddles the water a little bit. But I would give to Elvis, because I think the fighting guy opened himself for this one. You know, so if we're just talking purely politics, Elvis, go ahead and score your goal. But I really do believe that he's qualified. I've seen, I know who he is. He does have the experience. He does have the credential.
Okay, so Elvis, hold your peace. You open the one here. Let's get to the independent mind, because this is where the whole thing going to settle down. Dr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
So We saw what happens today. That's what happened when the cup is overfilled. It has to spill and nothing else. You just even the map from Home Depot said you can't even map that flow. The water will still it will still run through, and people are going to see it eventually outdoor there. Now that's a serious problem, though. The chief of the DEA, the deputy, and another director to see what happened. But let's look at this clip here, courtesy of Spoon Network. Their crew were there. They captured it. Let's see. I thought maybe they captured the biggest cartel, but not knowing it was among themselves. So let's watch and see, and we will have a conversation.
A backup from the Liberia National Police just arrived here and, bring main power, and that's how you see this place be clear a bit. So, folks, stay with us.
Okay. I know we all saw this here, but we just want to do it. Okay, I know we all saw this today. Terry, good evening. My apologies. It appears I didn't send the link. All right. So I see my own shadow. I'm not like the deliverer who leaves people behind, but I'm my apology. Okay, Dr. Jones.
Yes, sir.
So let me make you the chief prosecutor or whatever chief investigator to look at the Fatiga, the deputy, and Kalulu A.B. Kruma, who is the DEA boss. If you are President Joseph Newman Boyka with this here today, do these people you think they're going to spend a night at DEA?
No.
Explain.
I said no.
Yeah, I said explain.
As a career tutor who have encountered the experiences of other people through the learning curve, there are always root causes for most of these things. And it's even almost a normal practice in most of the African society. Like, for instance, let's say Goya have been appointed educational minister, and Goya have got probably just let's say a high school credential. All right, but Goya is very close to the president. In fact, it's Goya is one of the president confidant. Mr. Mali is not one of the president confidants, but Mr. Mali holds a doctorate degree in educational leadership. Now they have employed Mr. Mali on the basis of his credential, and they throw him in there to be the principal deputy to Mr. Goya. Obviously, the end result, conflict will arise. It's natural. Mr. Mali will go in there and feel that he holds a doctorate degree, and now he's reporting to this guy who holds a high school or BSc degree, and he's the educational minister. Naturally, there will be friction. Yes. So the question now is, one of them, to get an employment, there are so many factors. It's not only based on credentials. Maybe Mr. Goya has placed on Loyalists rode down the line, so many things, being obedient to this puppet, moving with him for the last 12 years, helping him, holding his bed, going so many places. In fact, he's the chosen one to occupy this space. There will be friction. I will not come to this portfolio thinking say I have all the knowledge, thinking say seniority. I can't just report to this guy academically. And the first thing I will conclude that he doesn't even know anything. Friction is going to come about. All right. So the question now is the leadership reading between because there's so many of these things happening in the system right now. Not only this place, so many places. People feel like say those are all that come here and will go back. We don't want to submit to people who've been in the places with a long experience, but they don't have the credential. We don't have the experience, but we have the credential. So the issue of insubordination sometimes kick in. But I want to conclude on a note, sometimes one of the root causes could be poor communication, sometimes lack of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, strength, and weaknesses. Sometimes people try to challenge each other's strength. They want to know whether you really know what you're doing. Lack of delegation of responsibility. You see? So there are various job descriptions. I don't know much about it. And their hierarchy, who they're supposed to report to. What are the both of them supposed to report to the president or the justice ministry? I just really don't know. All right? Are there clear job descriptions? Because in your job description, it will be clear who you're supposed to rather report to. You see, what you're supposed to be doing, how you will not cross the line. So there are so many things, actually, I think still lacking in there for my understanding why this thing is happening. But I think it's a normal thing again in the African setting. All right. And so if I were a president, and let's assume I knew the both of them. Let's assume Kroma is my boy. And the other man, maybe someone recommended him, but he qualified. To be frank with you, I will let it play out. I will not get involved. No, I will let it play out. You guys can fight. I just want the job done.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Dr. Jones, I don't know what I don't know this particular part. I don't know.
I don't think we want to try with the scene role tonight, CEO.
Yeah, the way you started in here, Dr. Jones, you're trying to sell me out now to people, man, a guy like Terry now, and you're gonna say
the man is a doctor. If that makes the man a free thinker, they can be put in a bottle and just boxed up and lay out somewhere. Appreciate you, doctor.
Sister is trying everything possible to find a couple. You know, when you on our side.
No. CEO, when you see a letter where the laborer is, you're not focusing on what he's doing there. You press the button on the platform.
Okay. So look, let me bring in Terry here. There are a lot of things just rolling in everybody's head to see what's happening because we want stability in government. We want this coordination. It doesn't matter whether it was in the security apparatus, but this is one of the things this president he took on that he was going to do everything possible to eradicate, for which he exhibited and showcased going to do drug tests. Even though some of all that tests we see as a just exhibition, because I don't know how many people were that were tested positive and what becomes of them, whether they were sent to treatment camp and who don't get what, that's a different game. But Terry, what happening today? This is it's kind of overnighting. It been breeding, right? And it just came in the public domain to the areas first on the side. Let me see. Oh man, this house here tonight will be on fire. See, yo, who are calling in? I will see who are calling in again. Okay, so Terry, let me just bring you in. How do you see this going? Who has the key right now to put this boss to just kind of like get the whole key and throw it in the deep sea? I don't want to see this crap happening within my government. I believe President Boyka is the only person. Will he do that?
Well, hopefully, I think he will do that. And hello to the panel, to everybody. Hopefully, I think President Boyka will have to do that, all kind of thing, because he have to put it under control. Otherwise, it might likely blow out of proportion. Because I think Hassan is struggling to understand the Liberian community. He just left for America after many years. We have to consider his challenges in the Liberian society. It's very tedious for him. Getting adjusted back home is not easy. So all of those things having a psychological effect on him, on his own person. And I think he's also is a domineering person. He's a choleric, from what I sense. And cholerics do submit themselves under authority. Likewise, what his name? Or A.B. Kurma too is a choleric too. But given the history of A.B. Kurma and the like of Hassan Fadika, A.B. Kurma have worked as 102 before under leadership, and we have not seen that kind of rift between he and his bosses. This is the first time in the history of our country wherein we see A.B. Kurma and his subordinate going at one another throat. So, I think there's a deeper thing beyond the lenses that we can see. So I think the only person that can put this thing under control, as you said it, is the president.
Will he do that?
So, but Terry,
Well-
answer that question, Terry. You allow the man to reduce your transposition method from a train to a bus. He said, "We'll throw the bus key away." Then you agree to it. That bus, your owner, and move on the train. How you allow the man to do that?
But
You gotta, but you fail to realize, you gotta take the bus before you get on the train. You gotta take the bus before you get on the train. You cannot just get on the train. You
You're
gotta take the
reporting this guy trapped on Anaheim. And you'll be explaining as okay.
But-
Good morning, Amos George. Welcome to the show.
Good evening to all of you.
Good
Thank
to have you here. I don't know whether it's a power struggle or what is going on now. So Terry, you end your point?
Well, yeah, actually, because the man is they look, Mr. So these things happen in government. People, I don't know if you watch the Charles Taylor government or the Ellen government. People used to fight, even in the house. People fight one another. They fight. These are normal things that happen in government. I don't know why people jumping all over the place, making it like a big issue, like the whole world coming crash and all of that. These are two people trying to get adjusted. Look, let me tell you, the drug business in Monrovia is a tedious thing. Is not easy to handle. So, and these guys have been doing extremely well.
So in what context you say it's not easy? Is it a money aspect? Somebody trying to say, hey, my man, we need
Mr. So,
a couple of billions and you are acting like a jerk. So that's how
the drugs in Liberia is a cartel. You listen to Fadika today on Spoon TV. Is a cartel and is embedded in the society. As a matter of fact, I label the drugs trafficking in Liberia to be part of the. Without drugs in the country, I don't know if the economy will even get money enough to be able to take care of all those responsibilities. Because from what I understood and what I learned, there are even representatives and legislatures that are also part of the drug trafficking. From the information we're getting, and I don't want to.
So
I got to go to Liberia and order that.
You saying terrorist.
I don't want to press Tabata.
No, you already started. You already in the middle of it. Is it the same terrorist last we said this government was not a genuine government? So are you telling us it is drugs that help to grow the economy? So there's no need to fight drugs. That's our understanding.
But how can you fight a drug when it's part of the economy? Have you ever seen all the government that came to Liberia, from the Charles Taylor-led government all the way until now? Have you seen drugs totally eradicated from Liberia? It's not possible. How Ellen really fight drugs in Liberia? Okay. All right. Okay. And right now, Right now, Fadika is dealing with something that is systemic. That is why he's crying, and he will not rest until he leave Liberia. And I
So,
think that's what was going to happen.
okay, but I listened to him, and I'm going to play that little part here. It seems like, from what I've seen together, he seems to position himself somebody who is fighting against organized crimes.
Right.
People, he was very elaborate. Say, senator, representative, but don't make me to talk. I do not want to talk. So he knows what. Until we can hear all of that from him, I don't want to preempt what he said, but it speaks to the volume that, hey, there are people they profess as if they are, working or to fight this drug, but there are other people on the other hand kicking against it, and this is why I think he's having this tough time. For you, when you were talking, Amos Joy was saying no, Terry is starting his Tabata on this network. Something I'm here tonight, Lord, that you're going to be wearing a crown of Tabata. Amos Joy, let
No
me just
problem.
Yes.
Terry said the drug is the one that get our economy going. He has Michael and Johnson salary did not succeed in going, Samuel Doe, Turbo, and all of that. But then the level it has reached is just over the roof. But I don't agree with that. Yes, they bring money in, those are illegal things. It's also killing our society, it's harming the young generation, and that's something people need to fight. And I was very shocked when he said, do you know the reason why we are not getting the funding from the US government? That speaks volume to you, that there is more than what he's saying. I just hope that maybe the president will get to the bottom line as to whether there are other people within the system who are obstacle into this fight against the drug. Amos George.
Yeah. I was lying down, but I had to wake up. Because I heard Marley, Elvis, and Terry talking some Tabata here.
Oh boy. The Georgia man is here.
Terry says here is the mathematician. So I want you to give him the statistics so he can tell how the economy is surviving on drugs. So Cecil is here. I will not pay him my son. So he can do this. He can do a statistic and give out the number how the economy is surviving on drugs. That's one. Secondly, you trying to portray that housing fatigue is the problem. Do you have any record on that? You don't have it. Now, Evan, let me come to you. You spoke about Hussein being qualified. Hussein live in Raleigh, Minnesota. You said it. Hold on there. They taped it. You can play it. I will listen to it. You said it. You said he's not qualified. Second, they don't want to respect A.B. Krumah.
Cronyism. He said cronyism also.
Cronyism. But I want to know from you, what information you have that you can share with us that Fatika has not been respecting A.B. Krumah. Do you have any information from that such? So look, and I understand you said because you said that you and them did not get along. So probably now you're trying to brush me like that. But it's bad. If I don't know someone, I will not just come and make blanket statement about them. Do some research on them. Fatika working.
No, it's a reactions. What do you expect? The guy
but you can't brush me like that. I don't care his political affiliation. I have to call him on the air. It's not right. We all sitting there, we'll not speculate. If I say anything, I'll be speculating because I don't have any facts to conclude that this person is disrespecting his boss. He's being bossed up because he comes from America. We are not seeing the investigation. The last time these people had some problem, they had to go to the mansion to reconcile the differences there. We don't know what was the problem. They hurt one another. Today, stay in the public again. And for one to come to that conclusion, then I wonder, where are the facts you have that you can share with us? So I don't want to be just because maybe you disagree with someone say this man is not qualified or because of political question. In this case here, A.B. Krumah did not get a job because of qualification. It was his ex-wife who recommended him. And it was his ex-wife who asked him that Hussein should work with him. So she is the one being the middle person who was doing all the connection. Okay. Now let me lay down. And Terry, let me come back to you.
Oh,
AB worked in the police as deputy director. You say you never saw any confusion. Do you have any facts to that? Because maybe you didn't see in the public, so there was nothing happening. Do we know how AB Kuma left the police? Why Eddie did not appoint him when he was nominated? Why he didn't take that position again? We don't know. So, and Mara, let me come to you. That scenario you drew. AB Kuma has a master, and I think Fadiga has a master. So no high school student there, and the teacher has a BSc. No, AB Kuma worked here before in law enforcement. He came to school here, he has a master, he worked in law enforcement here. Fadiga came here, went to school, working in law enforcement here. So that analysis will not go for the two people. So I just want to on that note, what happened today? Mr. Fadiga said something. He mentioned one word. He said there is a cartel, drug cartel in Liberia.
yeah.
And that's the key word I took. It means that people are working, but it's not double agent somewhere, feeding one group and try to go after another group.
They are for the system, but at the same time fighting against the system in
So,
darkness.
that's the word. That's one of the key things I took from the brief thing he said. So the point here is, I'm trying to make, when these things happen, we can have a political disagreement. I know that the goal you want to score, and I also go, but now go. Because during your administration, Gregory Coleman was attacked from the aviation place by George Weah. They're attacking them. Gregory Coleman, this is very Coleman. Gregory Coleman was attacked at the aviation when you're director. Honor you people. Jefferson was slapped the deputy police director Sakor. Slapping. What will you say about that? So for sedition the wrong way, how can you run away when you did the same thing? For me, I don't want to justify it. It's wrong today, it's wrong tomorrow. It was wrong yesterday, it's wrong today. But I don't want nobody to come to paint a picture that during their government time, it was roses, they had everything going. No. And this is not normal, Terry, to say people were fighting government. It happened between TJ and Joe Mobile at the Ministry of Information. There was a first fight there between the two people. It's not normal. Can people have misunderstanding? They argue, yes. But to spell out in the public and for all to say, try to normalize it, zero. It's wrong. Let me rest.
Okay.
CEO, can I push back a little bit?
You want push back on me or
I've been asking for time for rebuttal and you rejected me, Mr. So I don't know if I have my time to respond.
No, I didn't reject you. We're doing another person just came in, so yeah, Dr. Mali, you're gonna respond.
You can do the like Joia and Alice coming letter.
No.
Joia say it, and come responded.
We're going to get to the substance of the conversation here, because I still want to play it, because I don't think maybe, but I know he's been sitting in the press conference, but I'm not seeing him as a corporation guy, because I think this is where the struggle always comes in. When it's always like that in our Liberian setting. National government, political party, institutions, we do not like to raise a new star. The boss always wants to be the boss. And when you see that happening, this is where the struggle always comes in.
Micromanaging everybody.
Yeah, the things, people who that are in charge, they should be able to conduct, to give those briefing. But it's the Liberian way of doing things. Let me welcome Keto. Keto, good evening.
Good evening, Brother So, and good evening to the rest of my analysts sitting here. It's a pleasure being with you.
Okay, let me internally, I know I'm going to sound a little bit ridiculous here, sitting in for a liberal. Let me add some of his ridiculousness on this network. Let me internally make you the president of the Republic of Liberia to have Kalulu A.B. Cromant and Mr. Fariga, his deputy, for you to look into this case, and we'll give you like 30 minutes, you as the president, because it's a matter of urgency. How are you going to call this case?
Well, looking at drugs to be a serious problem in our society, that the president, even an emergency or epidemic in our society, to have two of the leaders who the president trusts to fight drugs, to see them fighting among themselves for whatever reason. I think if I was the president, I will fire the both of them. So it speaks to something that even the drug people that they put a committee drug when I even take this whole issue of drugs serious in our country. But Mr. So I listened to the panelists, I listened to Terry, or even Pat George and everybody. I think Fatiga comes to this position with understanding of, want to clean up the system, want to restore hope, because he was trained here by the Americans. He worked along with them. He knows how the system works. And so he wanted to do that. Unfortunately, his senior or his boss is from a different school of thought. You have to know A.B. Kromah to understand what is happening in Liberia between A.B. Kromah and Fatiga. I know A.B. Kromah when A.B. Kromah went to the police. A.B. Kromah didn't join the police. They're killing me. A.B. Kromah came to the police through Ulimo K when they were doing the power sharing days in Monrovia.
No.
Joy, you gotta get a man chance to talk.
A.B. Kromah came. A.B. Kromah told the police force through Ulimo K. The same way.
Let's get it right.
Hold on, let me show. I just giving you a base. Because I saw Monrovia. I was in Monrovia when A.B. Kromah was in the police force. He was responsible for even the drug business in the country at the time. When they used to arrest drugs from the African plane, that plane that used to come from Nigeria. My cousin then was working with the CID. They used to arrest hundreds of thousands of drugs. They will burn half of it, and the rest of the half would disappear. That's something that was in Monrovia that was there during the Civil War before 1996. I thought about 93.
So, but what I want to bring to your attention here, people are listening. A.B., yes, he came on Ulimo K and whatever, he became chief of staff, but he way back being in the police force. But being that he was a high ranking and he joined this whole factional thinking with his experience, that's how he went the Central Police, and then he became chief. I think he was after chief of staff, one of the two, and then he became chief of staff. That I know from the Ulimo K. But he also served in the police, but it was not his first time being in the police. That's what I want to tell you.
So when we saw A.B. Kromah, he was not even alone. Even the very brownie Samukai, when they came with Black Beret, what they call RRU, all those guys were in Monrovia. Even Amos Sawyer created that group. All the guys came with T. Swin, and all the people came. The reason I'm trying to say this is based on the fact that how they play with drugs in Liberia. Fatiga, when he see drugs, he want to go after drugs. He want to expose the people that got it. He want to dig deeper into who bringing this substance in the country or the drugs in the country. Kromah don't want to do that. Kromah want to take that $10 million drug. He want to take $5 million and put it out to the public, and the other $5 million is behind closed door. And that's where the problem is. And you're gonna hear exactly what I'm telling you. Because Fatiga said he don't want to talk what he got to talk, but if the person to expose, the person they like to expose what is happening, the cartel that is happening in Liberia, to expose it, we expose it. That's how people pretend to be leaders are fighting certain things this way, but opening the door on the other side to make it happen for themselves. And we saw it play before the April 6th war in Monrovia, when Nigerians, I'm not according to me, Nigerians were bringing drugs in our country. using
Nigeria
ECMO
needs
uniform.
you call a whole nationality, so you call it needs.
But I said,
So we are time.
I
You didn't
said,
see drug in the country?
my brother, I
Yeah,
tell you, interim time,
if
interim
minute,
time.
Eric, go ahead, tell us the
Listen,
let me go to Elvis to make a point. And
Nigerians were bringing drugs in our country, wearing ECMO uniform, and there was some Liberian that would go on the plane and bring it off of them to arrest those drugs. Some of them, they would burn them, and the other rest would disappear.
Quickly here. From
And
what
the Moringa came to the airport too. You know, into the Moringa like
yeah, before I go to
they will not talk about that one. You will go way to echo motor.
Before I go to Elvis here, all what I try to send out for you from you here, Fatiga is trying to get rid of this system, and people are within the system is trying to fighting him. Correct? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. That's exactly what's going on. In the coming days, you can talk about all your Maringe Akin or Baringe in the coming days. You will get to know the depth, to which this thing is happening. And you think, well, sometimes, you know, we sit down and we just watch things that happen because we saw. I was in Central America. I know what I saw prior to the April 6th. 93, 94, 95. Just for April, I saw all the players that had it comes to drug. Yeah, when it came to that whole drug business and how the drug made way into
we
our
were there,
country.
but there's something when we say in our we got to correct it.
No, but I just want to make it clear. People joined the police way before this whole thing is, except that everybody took
Okay, I accept. But you also agree with me. You also agree with me that Ulimo came brought into the hierarchy of the police force. Because Ulimo,
no.
Everybody, it was a faction of government.
After what the faction thing, now what he keep it.
I mean, obviously, everybody.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Because I know all the people that Ulimo recommended to the security era.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
All right, Elvis, let's hear you.
Thank you, Pat George, for your pushback. But just to clarify, like Mr. Goya was saying, I was talking about some of the pitfalls of cronyism, where somebody could appoint somebody who maybe don't have the expertise or the qualification. I wasn't talking in particular about Fatiga.
But Fatiga is a subject, so you would have made that clarification.
Fine, but let me get to my larger point, please.
Because this is not wrong.
Okay. You know, fighting drug in this country, we understood there's a saying in this country that America lost the war on drugs. The resources that this country has at its disposal, the amount of agents that they have in this country, we still have a drug problem in this country, a very a pervasive drug problem in this nation. So fighting drug, you have to be strategic, and you definitely are not going to eradicate the use of drug and the sale of drug in the country 100%. The key here is you have to understand how things are done in that nation. You know, experience is not always transferable. The way things are done in Liberia is not the same way things are done here in the United States. Wherever they say people say probably got work at the FBI or wherever you work, the way of doing things in Liberia may be different. And for example, you know that there are people who are drug dealers in this country who are informants for the DEA. They allow them to operate and in turn to get information about big shipment that's coming from this other side. So people collaborate with drug dealers. Believe it or not, in this very country, the DEA collaborate with known drug dealers. The things that we've been hearing in some of these chat rooms that I'm in, the issue here is that's why you see AB Kuma call Fatiga an activist. Because Fatiga wants to do a zero-sum approach where you should not work with any drug dealer. We gotta arrest all of them and clean up the street. And AB is telling him that's not how it works. Some of these guys are informants. Some of these guys are going to give us tips, tip off on some of their friends. You can't clean the street up. Even criminals, basic criminals. Some of them they're doing criminal activity, but at the same time they're working with with the police and giving tips to other to arrest other people.
Elvis,
right?
I'm trying to process what you have. So what you're saying here? Are you saying Mr. Fatiga is not interested, even if somebody is within the system and giving information, somebody from the intelligence world, you say he doesn't want to work with them. Is that what you're saying? Or I still try to.
Yeah, if you look at the conflict that's ongoing between Fatiga and Kurma. People who look at it, you know, the messages on Facebook, and even in the press conference, what A.B. Kurma said, the guys are activists. This is where this is coming from. I think Mr. George is in the police, and other people are in the police. You guys know, in Liberia, in this very America, nobody can deny the fact that the police, the DA, the FBI, they work with informants, people who are criminals, even people in the mafia. They work with people who are committing crimes actively and help them solve other crimes. So this is not unheard of. So if you're laughing and making it seem like it's something out, you know, that is far fetched, it's not. People work with other criminals to, for the in support of the broader picture. There are drug dealers who are in the Mexican cartel who are informants against the Mexican cartel and helping the United States, to fight drugs from coming into this country. So the point that I'm making is, if you're fighting drugs in Liberia, you can't be against all of the drug dealers. Some of them are going to be informants to you. They're going to help you. They're going to give you sensitive information that can help you bring down bigger drug dens. So the point here is, A.B. Kurma knows how things work in Liberia. Fadiga does not. And the fact that President Boyka trusted A.B. Kurma to put him at the head of the DEA, it shows that he has more confidence in A.B. Kurma getting the job done. In this country, if you go to your superior, you try to undermine, and they can fire you. They have the right to fire you or reprimand you. So the fact there is, we shouldn't be on A.B. Kurma's side because he's trying to be some kind of activist and say that everything should be done a specific way. And if it's not done that way, it's not done right.
So, okay, Terry, let's have a conversation. Nobody said nobody.
I just created a lot of web in my head right now. I need some clarity.
I tell you.
Yeah, I come.
Anything I said I was wrong, you guys can rebut it. But the reality is, people who are who are drug dealers work with the police.
It's not a different. For me, it's not a substance. On the one hand, you say that most experiences are not transferable. Things the way they are doing in America is not doing in Liberia. And then you say in America, law enforcement agencies work with informants. And in Liberia, the same thing A.B. Kurma wants to do. But yet you say that Fadiga, who was working law enforcement here, law enforcement
in America, don't do.
It's fine that they're going to work the same way.
Why were you saying that?
No, Fadiga complaint is that A.B. He's saying that it's a cartel, that A.B. Kurma is working with some of these guys, and he doesn't like that. He wants to be some kind of activist and say that he can't work with drug dealers. And it's not the case. It's not the case.
I don't think. Let's hold on 1 second. Let's play. Sorry, I don't think.
Fadiga did not say A.B. Kurma is a working with
cartel. Call A.B. Kurma. He made a kind of generous.
What is the word that A.B. Kurma used to describe him? Activist, right? Did he not use that word against him? He used that word against him and say the kid is an activist.
A.B. Kurma as a cartel. Fadiga did not refer to A.B. Kurma as a cartel.
I didn't say he referred to him as that. Well, look, Mr. George, I don't know the connections that you have in Liberia right now, but this is the information we are getting.
What information are getting? See when I tell you
that Fadiga is accusing A.B. Kurma of working with some of the drug dealers in the country. That's the information. That's why there's this disrespect and insubordination that he's accusing Kurma of working with some of the drug dealers.
You don't get throw words around. You cannot don't know
Mr. George, well, in as much people are going to say
you're protecting Fadiga, like his character and know what he's doing in Liberia right now.
I don't know him.
Okay, then so why are you protecting him and making it seem like he's on the right path? Don't do that. Don't do that, Mr. George.
I don't know them, but you are not saying the facts because you have problem with Fadiga brothers.
Well, what's the facts? What's the established facts? What's the established facts?
You lay the ground. You said you disagree with them on so many issues.
Mr. George,
issue with them. That was your statement.
Hello. Yeah, I disagreed with them before, and I made it clear. So it's not a personal grudge. I'm not saying that he's right or wrong. I'm saying that the way things are done in America is not the same way it's going to be done in Liberia. That's my point.
Mr. Sola, let me just quiet. Mr. Sola, I will talk. Mr. Sola,
you are getting over the limit now. We can't have a discussion. People can say these are critical issues, and we do not intend to incite our own personal feelings.
Yeah.
You have the right to say what you want to say, but there are some things that when you say here, it is not what the LPR is saying. Fadiga never said that AB is working with cartel. I never heard him saying it was in a press conference. Maybe I missed that, but we got to be very careful.
He did not say
like this. We don't say that. So let's leave it as it is. Let me go to this caller here. Caller 202. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm right here.
30 seconds. You're right here. I think
no 30 seconds.
You're wasting time. I said, go ahead.
Breakable.
Look, today, Eric, and Mr. Amos. I think Mr. Jerry is better than you guys on the other topic.
Who Jerry?
You know, how can you compare people like that?
You're pretty breakable, let it make a point.
Look, listen. Eric, we're talking about somebody that look, I don't like it at all, and I like it. And I love it, and I really believe in it.
Oh, God.
They said, you could fight the just. I want to fight it. But the ABA is discussing. ABA is part of a cartel. ABA part of the system. ABA know all the judges who are in our country from day one. They basically make the people, Fadiga don't want business to continue. If you don't let Fadiga, you don't like it. But on the issue, from the day one, the information someone getting is how it happening. Okay. Even this is Fadiga, especially on the show today.
All right, thank you so
much. Keep down to your high, you know. And secondly, no, Mr. So, wait. And I want to show. I just get commenting. No way, comment do nothing. I need an extra assessment. Look. Hello.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let him play a cassette. Let him play a cassette.
My man, wait. No, let me tell you something. It is not surprise to us. When you come in power with politics and propaganda, and I hear my man say, the judge is a cartel. Judge is a cartel. We don't take judge and put them behind person behind horse. You don't take judge and put them behind person behind bear. You don't take judge and put them behind person behind grave. In the pocket. You don't say the man bringing all the judge. When the man not even born, judge are in our country. So go in our country. But we make everything politics and tell the reality to tell the truth about the country. They're not seeing. They're making again all secret.
All right, I gotta go.
Wait.
No, brother, go ahead.
They're making again all secret. Go ahead. This year, you're talking about you see, you know me, you're working in the Zogo. You're working all when they were 4 on the ground.
Okay. Breakable. Bye.
You make everything politics.
Bye. Because sometimes your thing making just go. Anthony, are you there?
Yes, sir, Mr. So.
How are you doing? Let's hear you.
Yeah, a long time, Mr. Show. Thank you for the opportunity tonight. Sometimes we are very quick to equate or compare Liberia to America. Part of the drugs in America is not the drug that were made behind somebody's house. It has to do with pharmaceutical, opioid. Again. So sometimes when we're talking about these drug issues, we gotta, differentiate the kind of drug we're talking about. Today, as we speak, in my own city, there are 8 communities that are being identified as local communities.
So the medicine comes from where now?
Getting worse in the very serious issue. So there is a thing that is happening. Liberia is a small country that drug issue can be aggressive, taken care of, not to eradicate it, but to be very aggressive and reduce the influx of drugs. Because right now, Liberia is a drug hub. Because of the way I heard somebody talking about, it would help the economy. Are you kidding me? Economy where? That's all we can do to help our economy. We don't need drugs.
Okay.
We have over 1 million identified Zocos in the country.
30 seconds. Let me go to the next call. So I'll return to the
very
field.
Serious here. Yes. Do things. Any criminal being in the system long, you understand? Yeah, fine. If we take someone here, get a cut here, and that what you want to do, then drug will continue to be worse in our country. Right now, under the Waka 5 months, drugs are even getting worse than Georgia 6 years. No one hear the news.
All right. Thank you so
No
much.
one hear the news.
Okay. 214 number guys are gonna come to you guys. Let's see here. This is a critical issue. Let's get.
How you doing?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Let me go to 214 number 5215. Caller, are you there? What's your name and where you calling from?
My name is Clarence. I'm calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, Clarence, let's hear you. Hold on 1 second, Clarence. Hold on, Clarence. Let me just merge his number. And let's make it brief as possible as we can so that we'll go back. Clarence, let's go to you from there. I'll go to Willie, and then we'll come to the 86 number from, I believe, Connecticut. Let's hear you, Clarence. Be the judge here today. What do you think going on?
Okay. Mr. So, to me, the issue between AB and Farika It started from the initial stage when Fatty got suspended the drug or DEA agent assigned to Raleigh International Airport. When drug was arrested, the agent refused to report the drug, and Fatty got seized the drug from that agent. They getting suspended. When Fatty got suspended, that agent, AB turned around and reinstated the agent and said the man should go back. When the man went back on duty, Fatty got had a press conference and displayed the drugs to the media. So that means what Fatty got said concerning that there's a cartel, maybe AB, I'm not saying that AB is working with the cartel, but maybe be saying that they're getting like to know that Fatty guy is doing the right thing, they want to take him from the system.
Okay.
So Fatty guy and AB to me, they both of them they are working for the Liberian people. I don't think their ego should see the interest of the nation. They should fight getting at least to make our nation freedom. At least a little bit.
Thank you so
much. But the money this again, it's really a true leader. It's not for because of who that they're fighting their boss.
Thank you. Let me go to Willie, let's hear you.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hi, everybody.
Good.
Mr. George, welcome. I've been asking for you. Everything okay with you from Atlanta there?
Yeah, I'm here. Atlanta, the AG is here.
I don't know. But Terry, again, you have to grow your hair. Maybe the hair making you to make some kind of statement on the platform. Say you grow your hair from the 2 days, eventually you do something finally statement.
Hold on. However, we are talking. Why you want to worry about Terry growing hair? You're not Terry woman, so
when you had hair, it used to make sense, but now you're not making sense.
You can't come here and talk to our analyst. You can disagree.
The men are same thing. The men are same thing. The men are Terry.
Let him enjoy himself, Mr. Swift.
I'll go back to the topic.
Yeah.
Let him enjoy himself.
Okay. But you see, the problem is, like the last caller just said, A.B. Kroma and Jojo Boakan, they in the drug business like you. So when Fadiga sees something that is wrong, he wants to point at it and figure out how to stop. They're going to put stop to him. He's going to suffer. At the end of the day, they're going to, fire him and he will come back to America. Okay? But again, people like the Pa George, my Papena on the show tonight, they're supposed to be crying to, let's say, every day that they made a wrong decision of supporting this experience, the most educated government. I will continue to say this on the platform. Those people are the most qualified, are the more educated, experienced people. For them to be putting the Liberian people through what they're putting them through today, it's funny, it's sad. This government's going to be straight. This government's going to work when you the drug picking. We're supposed to hear the sign in America from the broadcast of Morovia. What are they doing there to us? What's going on?
Willie. Let me go to the next number. Let's see. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's go to this 862. Let's keep it right to the point. 860 number +0569. What's your name, caller, and where are you calling from?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sobel. I come from Canada, so now
Let's hear you.
Yeah, this every single week talking about people just try to come out and say anything they want to say about drugs in Liberia. The problem in Liberia is deeper than what you think about. You see, the Fadiga brother, I knew this guy a long time. I know that Terry very good. These people are fair enough to say the truth to the people of Liberia. But we are not fair to one another. We understand that we say when some say something we talk about America. I don't know what Liberian people just keep saying America. Our problem. If we try to tie America to our problem, we'll not solve our problem. This guy won a Liberia. I don't know how they appointed there, but some of them are very loyal to the nation more than themselves. The Fadiga are real loyal to the people, not him individual. These are the things that are saying the truth. We have to say the truth to the Liberian people what are going on. This drugs business in Liberia is a heavy hand in the drug business. It's a heavy hand in the drug business. If we don't say the truth to the people that are doing the drugs in Liberia, the drug business will not be settled in Liberia. We try to play bling game. Any president can play bling game with other president. Joseph Boga is in the power now. We got to support Joseph Boga to succeed in Liberia. I don't care who he is, but we're going to succeed. He has to succeed. When Liberia succeed, we all will be successful.
Thank you
so much. I want to say to Evans, please stop this thing. You don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys. I think this is a critical issue. So let's see here. 210 number 0098. Are you there, caller?
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let's hear. Helena. The guy who can put a 40 year money not here to now. So somebody there in place.
I know that one may have called because if I already put here for your mom. Yeah. Talking on a discussion, my brother went to the studio with Terry. I think making mistake. Now know a big cover. You know that man. Oh, that man will know since I saw that. He deal with the cartel. He accepted a cartel. You know see a man apple. Since I saw that every command be on a drug thing there. And you know the drug seller in that country. I let that father come, brother. I let that. I want even say me and Eddie, but each other said I'll be happy.
Oh.
But when they keep below that, put it there. That Eddie Kroma, okay, that you said drugs. And most of the thing that you know what you're doing when they arrest the people there, you pay the money, you can't report the money. And then when you arrest the people, then when they put getting money, you release it in the community. Okay, they have information there on that Eddie Kroma.
From whom?
You see it so.
Where did I get the information from?
What get people there like brother?
That one spoke the country.
I
know where there are so many radio stations. Okay.
Yeah, but every Kroma, that man, he says even Joseph Bogachi in a job. A lot of people in that job. When you see the last time they arrested that's the Sierra president brother. I always say that the Sierra president brother is a cartel in Sierra.
Okay, thank you.
It's a cartel. It's the new drugs what they're talking about. That's inflicted. They arrested the people there. Every woman they want to release the net. They may go back Africa.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me go to the next caller here. We are already out of time. Thank you so much. Yeah, Aaron Poplet, are you there?
Yeah, Mr. So, how you doing?
Go, let's hear you. What we want to say?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening to the panelists. Mr. So, let me say something. The idea on the show that every time we come up, are you guys hearing me?
We hear you. Go ahead. We hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Aaron, go ahead. You are loud and clear. We hear you.
Yeah. So, you know,
you got to lower your monitor. If your monitor is on, then of course that echo comes back to you. That's why you're hearing. So
I'm talking. There's no way I can lower it. When I lower it, you will not hear me.
No, not the phone with me. If you're listening to other device, but go ahead. Yeah. We're hearing you. No feedback. Go ahead. Are you there, Aaron?
So what I was trying to say, 6 months ago, 6 months, or a little over 6 months ago, you know, people on this platform, everything that happened in the Georgia government was attributed to Georgia. Yes, so right to Georgia though, the principal, the Amos George, the Perry, including how to call him, Mr. Flo. Everybody, everything that happened in President Weah government was to President Weah feet. President Weah was the call, President Weah appointed to help people, but it's kind of ironic and surprising to see today everything that's happening, everybody giving justification for it. Everybody giving justification for it. Okay? I mean, what else, you know, we look at this kind of issue in the country holistically. Let's forget about politics. Let's forget about, you know, and put the facts to where the facts belong and explain what's happening. I listened to the public brother today on Spoon Network. I listened to him. He never mentioned every command name, but he said when push comes to shove, he's going to call names. He's going to name names. What do you think he's talking about? He knows people in hierarchy who are in this particular syndicate when it comes to this drug.
Okay.
That's why he's saying he's going to call names.
All right. Thank you so much.
So he's there, right? You know, and one last thing I would say, Mr. So before I leave the platform. Please sensitive, okay? When people call on the phone, you should start making those kind of facial gestures when the people talking. The people pray at their prayer. You don't have to agree with it. But making all those kind of facial gestures on the phone.
When you talk Tabata, with me, my face and that. My face telling you talking Tabata. My face telling you talking Tabata.
I will shake my head when you're not seeing the truth. I will shake my head.
Anytime you talk Tabata problem, I will shake my head on my face. Because for people that won't pay money for to watch or play, to come talk Tabata, I will shake my head.
Okay, yeah, all right, guys, let's go to this person will be the last.
You got too much education, then you can't talk like trash it. Your problem.
609 number, are you there? 6619. Good evening, caller.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm waiting for your panelists and the callers to finish the fight.
Okay, yeah, I know. Everybody protecting their own alligator.
This is J. Number. I just want to quickly chime in. So listen, I think it is good to have, you know, strong opinions in the boardroom and probably even contradictory opinions.
Right.
But when the principals are drawing guns on each other and alleging attempted assassination, I think then there is a problem. I'm hoping that, you know, the president will step in this thing and resolve it, because as this thing continues, I think our young people who are most in need of help right now are not getting the help because of what is going on. I think this is the tragedy of this whole issue. So I thank you all. I think you've done great justice to the topic. I think you presented several angles. I think you've given this president the opportunity to see this from various viewpoints. And I hope, you know, he will step in. I know he's out of the country, but he needs to step in real quickly and help us resolve this, because this is not helpful at all to the fight against drugs in Liberia. Thank you for the time.
Don't go quickly. I always like your input here, because when you come, you also have to stabilize and bring the conversation to a baseline. Let me ask you, do you think this whole thing has reached a boiling point?
I think it has, because as several callers have already indicated, this thing has been going on for quite a while. You know, like I said, there were those of us who really held the opinion that, you know, yeah, let the guys, you know, bring in different viewpoints in the boardroom, you know, it will help the process. But I think it is really starting to appear like they may be incapable of resolving their differences, and the job they want to do is suffering. So I think in the interest of getting the job done and bringing relief to our young people, I think the president needs to step in and help them resolve this matter. He probably needs to look in and go in different directions.
Is it possible for us to determine at DEA right now who didn't show leadership in terms of making it not to get to this point that we have reached? On the
you know, I don't have all the details of this matter, but I will put the blame squarely on the director, because he has a responsibility, you know, to lead the team. If Mr. Fadiga is coming in with a different point of view, and Mr. Koman, who has been on the scene in Liberia for quite a while, you know, he's coming in with a viewpoint, I think, informed by his experience. I think it is his responsibility to pull his deputies aside and tell them, look, this is how it is done at where you went to school. I did go to school there as well, but based on what I have seen on the ground, it helps to go in this direction and do it this way. I'm not sure if he has done that, because it looks like the two of them mean well. I think they're aiming for the same thing, but I think it's the strategies that are, you know, that are clashing right now. I think that's where the problem is. I think the young Fadi guy is, you know, probably, you know, yeah, they say he, you know, he has some experience here from the States. So I think he's coming in with a lot of energy, you know, enthusiasm. Theoretically, he wants to do it the way he has been taught to do it here. You know, but again, A.B. Kroma has been on the ground. You know, he has been able to, you know, to marry his academic experience with real practical experience, and that I think he needs to pull his deputies aside. If he has found that to work to help get the job done, then he needs to clue his fellows in. But I don't think that is happening. And all these public spikes they're having, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, you know, it is the young people who need the help right now. who are not getting the help, and therefore it is not helping the process.
All right, Mr. Nabe, are you a liberal or moderate Democrat or independent?
So there are two people on that screen who will vouch for me. My fellow educator there from Minnesota, who has grown so much beer over the past few days, and my young fellow Elvis there. Anyway, I come from the United People's Party wing of the political space in Liberia. So in that case, you can lump me up with the progressives, which I'm proud of. And
the man is a bona fide progressive. You should know that, Mr. So.
Tonight,
Mr. Namwe, excellent point. We're on the same wavelength. Excellent point.
So I was playing the progressive title, but thank you for the time, man. It's been great talking to you guys.
The progressive hate accounting. The progressive hate accounting.
I think this is
there we go now with the progressive bashing. That lead it well.
I would just go that part. I think this is where the disconnect coming from, and I think he really put it into context. One person wants to do it the way, and AB been on the ground for quite a while, from the police, chief of staff, controlling, fought for one of the major big care faction, and all of these people, they are all embedded within the different security apparatus. So these sort of loyalty, different variety of things are really playing out. But I think the only person can stop this whole thing from running, getting it already out of hand. It's the president. Maybe there will be another meeting and say, hey, and just draw the fine, complete the red line. If I hear anything cracking again, because, one of these hard things, you can't just want to fire so easily or make precedent, you end up escalating the whole thing. But we will wait and see how it plays out here. But I think everybody means well for the country, and this is why we are giving it open discussions and listen to people's views. Again, we want to point out here, callers and people call here, things that are said on this network that's not in any ways the view of the Liberia Public Radio, but we have this hardcore conversation here, and as part of our responsibility to have a civil conversation. Gentlemen, let's come back. I know people want to make their few statements too. A lot of callers came in before we can get our closing, before we go to the closing argument. Jared Barkon, you are the security guy here. You listen to a lot of callers here. Is there any change in mind with respect to your earlier positions that these two gentlemen, the president should let them go?
No. See,
you don't get a second chance. You just said them on fire then.
Militarily, we got change of command, we got commanders, and we got to follow procedure. I mean, I agree with Evans all the time. We got different views, but at least I will agree with him that when you go somewhere to make a change, you have to study the system that go in. Even I have written a lot of articles on when it comes to trust issues in Liberia. You can read it. You can just Google Jerry Barker and you'll find all the articles I've been writing on drugs. I mean, I will call myself analyst on the drugs issue. But here's the point. I've been trained on a different professional come to Liberia. Even though I was trained in Liberia before I came here, I joined the law enforcement here. But the system in Liberia, you cannot just call, even if you have a mindset that you want to make a difference. There's something called, you brief your commander, director, command. This is what's going on. So we'll change your command. So for ticket, you as a lawyer, you know that he can't, that will not even be a terror in America with your boss. With your boss. You and the DA director have altercation, and the two people are in arms, and you know what the effect it creating within the organization. Let's forget about them. Let's forget about them. But you bring up friction within that organization. Some of the agents will want to take our side. So it is very dangerous for our society. It is dangerous for our law enforcement officer. It is, it's pathetic. Words are inadequate to express it. These people need to step aside. They'll bring new faces in that place to deal with the issue.
Okay. We're going to come to your closing. Dr. Jones?
Yeah.
There are a lot of callers in here tonight, people with a diverse view from different spheres of national conversation here. Is there anything new that you gather from them?
Oh, yes, a lot. As a matter of fact, this is my closing. I'll be leaving you guys.
Okay.
Yes. As a co-host, which of course, sorry.
You get ready here. You really got to give a
That's why the man cut his hair.
So, since we're supposed to take the cat out of the bed, we gotta do it ahead of schedule. But on a very serious note, I'm one of those who have been on this platform, I said from time immemorial, that I don't think His Excellency President Joseph Boakai, I don't think he had the prerogative to bring in people who are stigmatized with the Liberian Civil War, with all kind of news behind them. You know, Nkrumah being a commander from a rebel group. I mean, it's like I'm one of those who don't even want to see a single rebel commander or even rebel attaché in this government, because these things we are helping to validate these people's status. Their whole, you see what that lady said about Nkrumah? I've been hearing most of the things. People wonder what Nkrumah is doing in this government. I'm telling you. All right. So sincerely from my mind, I don't know whether Nkrumah is the best captain for this ship. Because the drugs now in America and everywhere, as Colin Regler said, I don't know that revenue aspect are going to government anyway, but according to Regler said, it's
we're taxing drugs use in Liberia. So that
it's a rare money-making business. And Nkrumah is not stranger to this thing. The people saw it. I don't have the evidence, whether they were pushing it. I don't have the facts, but I don't think Nkrumah is best suited to actually be in this whole drugs thing. I don't think so. All right. So from all the color, my conclusion here is that maybe the guy who came from the United States, the Fatica guy, he want to be an over loyalist to His Excellency to make sure the drugs business, whether you parliament, you in parliament, whether you in a whether you one of the minister, when you are caught, you should face the full weight of the law. I want to strongly believe this is where the guy is coming from. If all those pieces of story I've been hearing put together, you see, Nkrumah, I don't think this guy going to help this process. But to conclude, I think I would like to agree with Mr. Bacon. Just move the two of them, probably, and put two pastors in there, so see how you help the process. Because the problem on the ground now, I said two pastors, yes.
Pastor, where go do TK Benny again? No more go care pastor of DEA?
No, I think the pastor would be very sincere to the nation and sincere to His Excellency. Okay, but here is my question.
We still got sincere pastors in our nation.
I said, I mean, I believe in the pastor a whole lot, a man of God. But here is
thank you, Deacon. Thank you.
Yes.
In Liberia, we get some of that.
Thank you, Dad.
Until the pastor is found guilty, I believe in him, and he can lead me to
Liberia Council of Churches get a history.
All right, we'll come to that one, Sissy. But let's go back to Pat George. Pat George stretched a point here that these two people came to the United States, they all land here. Okay, good. I don't know which one of them is an expert in the drugs management and drugs control mechanism. Probably Pat George can tell us, because he's been challenging us here, that gave me a lot of points. So which one of them is an expert in drugs? Or the both of them? Thank you.
Okay.
And Pat George will have to answer the question on CEO.
Oh no, you want? I'm waiting. I mean, in my time, that's why I will respond. You can be when you all this
So you want to put
steady
him
and
on
listen. I will
witness? You want to
respond.
put him on witness stand now that you should answer it? Anyhow.
Oh no, CEO, we have not created a code section on the platform yet.
Okay, no, but what you're talking about, you have to answer it. So I thought it was a new section
Yeah.
that we have created. Okay, quickly
So,
here.
CEO, I'm leaving you guys, please.
Okay, that's okay. Yeah, we are wrapping up now too, but thank you so
Yeah.
much. So, Elvis, you listen to a lot of callers here with respect to what is happening. Any change in mind, new thing pop up in your head to say, maybe I should have said this because of I got a new information. Anything of such?
Actually, I'm going to double down. I think they buttress my point, Mr. Bacon and Mr. J. Victor Namwo, the political analyst. They both buttress my point, and I think my point was made more succinct by Mr. Namwo. The point here is, for example, the way they fight drug in Brazil, in those favelas, where they take armored trucks and they actually kill drug dealers, or the way they fight drug in the Philippines with the former president Duterte, the way they were killing drug dealers and giving them death sentences. Is that experience, if a person working that system of doing things that way and they have that experience for 10 years, is that transferable to Liberia? Of course not. So when I say not all experience is transferable, those are some of the things that I mean. But the point here is, like Mr. Bacon said, AB Kurman, when you go apply for a job, if you both have the same degree, they look at experience. And if you have, similar experience, but one person have more experience in that specific area, they will probably pick that person because they're more suited for that job. When you look at the qualification, like like Pa George was saying, Padika and Kurman both have a master's degree, I'm guessing, in law enforcement. But Kurman has been on the ground. He worked in the system. He worked in the police. He worked in sensitive areas in the country. So that's why President Boyka, in his wisdom, for those of you who support President Boyka, saw it fit that A.B. Kurman would lead this effort, and he trusted his judgment that he knows what he's doing. It's not a competing philosophies. If you go to your boss and you tell him, I think we should do things this way, and your boss said no, your boss wins because he's the boss. If Fadiga feels like something is untoward and he wants to resign, come out to the United States in the comfort and the safety of this country and be a whistleblower, it's well within his rights to do it. But to try to go at loggerheads with your boss, and if you can't come out and say this is the wrongdoing that's been going on, and I fundamentally disagree with it, and thereby I'm resigning my position based on my principles, you're well within your rights to do it. But if you have a different philosophy than the man who's spearheading your agency, you're always going to lose because you're subordinate to him. That's the point that I was making. AB Kurma has a different philosophy on how to attack the drugs issue, and I'm guessing Fadiga has a different philosophy. And as it stands right now, AB Kurma will have the upper hand because he's the boss. Thank you.
Amos George.
Yes. Let me come back to Elvis. Every my decisions that I make or judgment I make, it doesn't based on what I know you. I make it based upon principles. Today, if someone said anything about you, I have not met you in person, that is not factual, I would definitely defend you. So the notion that you have, because I'm defending the Fadiga brother, I don't know them. But when you make some statement about people which is not right, I don't have to know them. Because I don't want someone to judge me like that. So based upon that, it is what I'm speaking from. Let me come back to this assertion you're making. And I continue to come back to you people. Do you people have evidence to prove that Fadiga has done something to A.B. Goma term as for being gross insubordination? Do you people have the facts, Mr. Bacon? Do you have the facts? You don't have the facts.
No,
Tell me.
Okay.
So hold on now. You were speaking. I didn't interrupt you, sir.
But the question directed to me, that's why.
Yeah, but you got to hold on.
All right.
When you made a statement, I didn't interrupt you. So just hold on.
Yes, sir.
The trend, so I want to see these facts. What investigation was done previously? That was, oh yeah, this is the pattern. Hussein have been disrespectful to his boss. I have not seen that. The last time there was a confusion, they took them to the mansion, they shook hands, they hug one another. That was it. Today, what's spilled in the public, I don't know. It's something, for me, I can only speak on the assumption that maybe something is going on. But I can't come and say, oh, this guy is being disrespectful to his boss. When I say that, then of course, you open the box for me to ask you for some facts. And you are not giving it to me. So the next thing, you are not giving it to me. And Keta, let me say this to you, Keta.
Oh.
I know A.B. Kroma from 1988 or something. I've been knowing A.B. Kroma. He was in the police. He used to work with CID.
Yeah.
How A.B. Kroma got a chief of staff position was because Haji Kroma, that was his uncle. That was his uncle. That how come A.B. became chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia when that war was fighting in Monrovia. When the war started, when they started in the government, and how can his uncle make sure he went to the police as deputy director again on Ulimo J, Ulimo K ticket? The T-Swan, you're talking about T-Swan were in the police before the war.
Oh, T-Swan are old time. T-Swan live next to
T-Swan, one time you heard that the CID guy who took the gun wanted to commit suicide on Nippo Street, that was T-Swan. That was before the war. Sebastian, I know you know Sebastian, who wanted that job, we are nominated to be chief DA officer, and the people made noise about him. Sebastian, T-Swan, A.B. Kroma, they were all in the CID together. So he did not come there after the war.
Former director, some of those.
So these are things I talk about people. When I know the facts about someone, even I can have my disagreement with you, but I should not bury it and tend to make you look that way. No. So this is what I'm saying. Let us be careful how we judge one another. We can have political disagreement, fine. But I should say the facts about you. And what I see here, you talk about informer. Mr. Bacon can attest to it. Police in Liberia use informer. Police, yeah, Mr. Bacon, police in Liberia use informer. So the idea to say that AB said Fadiga is an activist, he doesn't want to use informer. No. Police in Liberia have always used informers. Criminals. There are certain cases in Liberia, they will tell you. They tell them to read it. They will say, look, who call the boy, you'll go bring that man.
Somebody snoring in the background.
Yeah. They will say, well, go bring the man. When they bring, they will ask the man, what happened?
And see why my facial expression can be there for them to see it, so they know how to with you.
So, I just want to say this. What is happening among these people?
Because, you know,
the tragedy the tragedy about this thing is that the tragedy is the Liberian people. The tragedy is the victim is the Liberian people of the people action. Because I expected these two gentlemen to exercise the highest degree of restraint, not to do this in the public. But that's how it turned up. And I think for me, I don't just want the president dismissing people. I want to first know the outcome of that investigation.
Right.
If someone is culpable, then you can move that person. You can dismiss that person. But not just to come and dismiss all two of them without no investigation to know what happened. No.
That's not a way of solving problems.
Yeah. So I want
they say another 2% start the same thing and you would
yes, to find out who is culpable. As people are alleging, whether it's Fadiga, then if Fadiga is responsible, let him be dismissed. If A.B. Kroma is responsible, then let him be dismissed. I don't want judges to come and or the majority dismiss all two of them. No, because we want to know that these things should not occur in our system. Even though terror legitimacy is normal for government in Liberia, but for me.
Right. Okay, thank you so much. Reserving Goyat, Terry. Dang, the video you hear tonight so badly with this whole thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what Helena was saying, because you literally actually liberal put your foot in your mouth here through this evening. Last week, the government not getting one, they want drugs, bring money into the economy and all of that. But let's hear you. You heard different views from different lenses of what national conversation here. And you know, Fatiga, he says something, and this is where the whole leadership thing here. He says something. when the police people went there, I think the police chief, Coleman, went there and invited them, according to him, if I understood him well, invited them, and in the process of that, he was holding a news conference. So I'm wondering, the presence of the police commissioner, perhaps, and I'm just saying perhaps, nobody has confirmed that with me. Perhaps there are being a call from the marshal. Look, police they are there to always bring civility, to stabilize anything, and it is dangerous when you see a paramilitary group, people, that sort of friction is building up. When there, and AB was still hosting the news conference. That was kind of like weird. But let me hear you. Any change?
No, but Mr. Toh, he said something there. He said that AB said that they had locked Fadiga and the deputy up at the police station.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what Fadiga said. So I believe he going there, either the Minister of Justice, maybe through a kind of quick message from the president, hey, you need to dispatch the police commissioner there to go and stabilize, to intervene and get there. But we'll wait and see. And I hope there will be investigation. This is the only troubling thing here. These things happen, and by the time you go low, whatever committee was set up, and then at the end of the day, it becomes zero, dead end. You don't hear anything, you don't know what and why. I hope this will not be a kind of continuity. But Terry, let's hear you.
Yeah, all these things are just things. I don't want to agree with Mr. Bacon and Evans that the two people should be fired. This is 6 months in the government, and within the short period of time, with that sedition mentality that the two people should be fired, the people that are doing the greatest job in the country should be fired. I don't agree with that. These two guys have worked overtime to even identify a new stream of drug in the economy or in the country. And then you're telling us that because they have a confusion between the two of them, so we should fire them. Or we should fire the two of them. Or maybe AB Kroma is in charge, and what his name, Fadika, is something. I was one of those who said that Fadika, I thought in my mind that Fadika was usurping authority, which is possible because I just said it, that what I observe Fadika temperament is that he's a choleric, AB is a choleric. The two of them going to struggle to work together preliminarily, but once they
what's the definition of choleric? Please educate us.
Well, I'm not in the classroom. You can go and define it for yourself. Just use the voice, something on the internet, and say choleric. It will give you the information. But however, because if I start defining it, we'll go way back to a whole different thing. But what I want to say to you is that this type of temperament are people who are very drastic and they are domineering. And because of that, it's going to be very hard. Because Fadika want to get the job done. AB Kroma is saying, no, wait, let's do it this way, let's do it that way. You can't pass this way, you got to pass this way. And Fadika is trying to adjust. And when I said that the economy, drugs is part of our economy, it's true. The monies that people get from drugs, where do they carry it? Do you have any real system in your country that controls the money that goes through the banking system and all of that? You don't have nothing. Your country is just open to anything. Anybody can do whatever they want to do. All the monies that come in the country from drugs, how is it spent? Where does it go? It's circulated right in the sea economy. It goes right back into the sea economy.
So drug dealing is a net benefit for us, Terry. Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Give me a chance. Give me a chance.
So we can't do that.
You can disagree with me. You can say that Tabata are talking and all of that. In the real government, we saw people going on the airport for cash. We saw drugs coming in the country, arriving at the airport and all of that. We saw drugs coming through the port, through the seaport, over 100 million drugs pass through our country and all of that. We saw a lot of things going on in the country. We saw people building houses, fast homes, properties building all over the place. No accountability, no. People, you can't even give accountability of how people acquire wealth in Liberia and all of that. So I don't understand when people say, oh, drugs is not part of the economy. I want to agree that drugs is part of your economy. You could say, no, you could beat me up, but I want to agree that it's part of the economy because many ways we see people that we're not supposed to see. How you think previous leadership, like Charles said, how you think he used to get arm and ammunition? You think that only from the go and diamond they used to sell? and all of that. When during childhood time, what the drugs so much you used to hear about a living that was arrested under his leadership. So these are things on a job, on a president, we are leadership. How many times you heard that drugs were arrested, exposed, busted, and monies laundering were being discovered and all of that? Liberia is a trading country for drugs and all these kind of clandestine behavior. And your economy benefits from that. And you anywhere you carry me, you can lash at me, you can say whatever. That is what I believe that my own take. But however, Mr. So is that these two guys have done great job within the period of 6 months. What these guys have uncovered, if they fire the two of them, I doubt that anybody will be able to replace them. I would want to advise President Bokar now. I would want to advise President Bokar that he should maintain them, he should talk to them, and let the two of them work together. Give them a second chance. Give them a second chance because they have done very, very well, and I believe they're going to do very well. And that's my own take.
So I hope you are a minister.
Before I go to the next question, do you think?
Mr. Goya, thank you for that definition. I really need. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep, you're welcome. Do you think there should be an investigation?
Well, yeah, in everything there's investigation. There need to be investigation on how the military women and king on the street the other day and they all kind of thing. There need to be investigation on the breach. There need to be on the breach of the president. There need to be investigation on the killing of the young man. There are so many investigations that's more important to me than anything. These two people, they are struggling because they are tackling a major drug issue in the country that is comprised of a syndicate. So in order for them to get this job done effectively, one man is from America. He spent a long time here. He just went home. What he's exposed to is new. He needs to understand that how to work in our society. And in order to do that, the president is the only one that can put the two of them together and say, look, this is what it is. If you two go above this level again, I think I'm going to take another action on you guys. But I would not want for A.B. Kroma. I was one of those who recommended A.B. Kroma for that particular position. And I'm seeing the level of work A.B. is doing. I'm also seeing the level of work that Fadika is also doing. These guys have done great within a short period of time. I would never sit on the platform to support that the president should fire the two of them. Okay. If he does that, his government, I doubt that he will be able to fight against drugs.
That's the beauty of it. We intend not to leave no voice behind.
But Joe,
Keto, you spoke already?
No, I'm listening to everybody.
Well, Keto want to watch it feel to come back.
Keto was snowing.
No, I want to watch everybody do their talking.
Okay, let's hear you. Then Sissy will send us home.
I'm just listening. I think I said what I have to say here concerning what is unfolding. I think Fatiga, being an advocate, went with the intention of cleaning up the system. He knows what is unfolding in Liberia when it comes to these corruptions, whether it's from the security arm or whether it's from the education or all the different things. Like you and I sit on this platform to advocate for our country. I think Fadiga did the same thing. He and I will oppose each other because he was on the other side. But I think with all the professional Liberians that went to Liberia and stories we gather from there, that even the people in Liberia try to make them to be corrupt. And even if you cannot be corrupt, they will do something that will make you lose your job or fire. I think Fatiga wants to show that he can do the work. And on the other hand, Mr. A.B. Kroma, who been in the system for a very long time, knows the system, know how to play the system. And so he's doing his thing. And Fatiga looking at it and like, no, this is not right. And so that where the bumpy head. Because if you listen to A.B. Kroma on previous interview on Spoon, he said he used the word, I'm the nigger around here, I'm the big nigger around, like I'm the boss around here. Everybody comes to me. So why you have a deputy? If everybody should come to you, you have a deputy to be able to deputize when you're not around, even when you're around to do other.
Probably the man want to micromanage.
Yeah, and all the stuff because if you micromanage, he knows the reason he micromanaging, and you can't do that in this kind of work. So
I think Fatiga comes with a lot of integrity and AB Kroma integrity because from history, I don't care who you're connected to AB Kroma or you're listening to the platform, from history, people who know AB Kroma and the Liberian police force from prior to April 6th, they would tell you what I'm saying. They will collaborate and it is true. We saw drugs that were brought into the country and they will burn half of the drugs. The part of the other drug will disappear. Nobody know where it went to. And how these boys survive in our country for so long. It has become a way of life that today they try to do the same thing because drug is kind of a lucrative business now in the country. Unfortunately, it harming a greater portion of our society. That's the pitiful part about it. It harming our young people, and we see it harming them on an alarming scale. So I mean, at this point, Fatiga, who came from America, knowing the fact that this thing has the potential of destroying our entire nation, trying to fight it with all he has, and another, whereas his boss is playing games, and that's where the problem is. Because Fatiga says it's not about disrespect or all that. Fatiga really wants to fight drugs. He and I don't see eye to eye when it comes to politics, but I think he has a mind to do what he wants. He said he want to do. But like the rest of the place where everything happened the way it happened. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Ceci will send us home. Ceci, when we started this conversation here, you took a position, and I think it was crystal clear. More or less, I think you were looking at the administrative side as the chain of command, who is who, when things get off hand between deputy and the boss, where should they go, and how it should be settled. From all indications, I don't think that it didn't go that well, and this is why it got to this point here. Now, as we discuss these critical issues, let's look at the funding solution to this thing, because directly, indirectly, whether you support this government or not, ultimately, we all are the victim because the country would then, go down the road now. Let's take administrative role in this thing because we have to know the in-depth. Particular said if it becomes a compelling situation, then he will speak. Now, if at all, if the going gets tough and the tough gets going and he's pushed to the wall and he decided to speak, man, that's going to be like a Bob Woodward coming, speaking from Washington Post and stuff like that. How can this be settled now? Is there any in this whole thing?
Yeah.
President, how can for them to still work together and remain like something, or they should just kind of separate it internally? You send one person to different place and or relocate one person. Is that the only option?
Wait, but as somebody build up one, two people may play almost send somebody on the open side, send on the other side. People can make a fire from government. We gotta be separated. One person goes out where I had to cool down, drink small water before we put you back here. That's not how we run entities. But the point I'm trying to make here, though, from the beginning was that, look, I didn't want to be personal about Fatiga or AB Kroma because the issue we're discussing was, for me, the way I looked at it was about leadership, and that's why I said I was going to see to Jerry back on the issue of the security implications. But I try to look at it from leadership in every normally functioning entity. If you have a term of reference, and you have a chain of command, you know as a deputy who you report to, and the director knows how much authority he or she has or doesn't have, since in fact all of you are presidential appointees and had to go through all the other stuff, right? And so for me, that's why I said, if they look at a term of reference, if they all really sat down and determined where there is a gray area, how do we make sure that we coexist in that gray area, right? So for me, I really do believe that these are two great professionals. I think they need to understand what is at stake. And I think they need to get an act together because this action between them affects morale up and down the chain of command. It affects productivity. It affects a whole lot of stuff. If one person is suspending an officer and another person is reinstating that officer, where is the authority? And this is a paramilitary organization that relies on chain of command and structure. If you don't have that, how do you expect your people to function? And we are talking about drugs being declared as rightfully so as a danger to our state. We're here talking about the proliferation of drugs on high school campuses, in areas surrounding our schools and stuff. This takes away from their work that needs to be done. So these two adults, these two professionals need to get their act together. I love the book. They are two professionals.
I hate to interrupt here.
There are many other librarians way overqualified than these two that can sit in their place and do way better. But am I advocating for them to leave? No, because that's not how you run an organization. That is not how you run a serious government. Is you have to first figure what's happening. There's always going to be friction. There's always going to be conflict. My only disappointment is that people in government have not understood how you work in government. And I will bring my brother back to this, and I know maybe he can go on LBS and but my own brother, Eugene Fagon. Remember the Eugene Fagon saga? When he decided to, instead of taking stuff in-house to deal with it in-house, got overly frustrated and went off, and he had to be terminated because of that. Right? So you can be in an organization and vehemently disagree with your boss. But there are processes, there are channels. And for the love of God in me, this is a paramilitary organization. These people carry guns. Our people depend on them for safety. You will have to show some modicum of understanding of intellectual maturity. And I don't see that happening. And I think Fadiga has the ability to show that. I think A.B. Kroma has the ability to show that. I think these two people right now is just the battle of the egos. And I hope that they can come to the process and realize that Liberia is much better, is much bigger than the both of them.
Okay, Jerry, I will be forced to ask you this, and before we.
Oh, but there's just one thing. Let me learn now, because Terry, I think the point you're trying to make, and if I'm wrong in understanding you, I apologize, about the economic benefit of drug dealing in Liberia. I don't think you meant it in a way that the government directly is taxing that. But I think from what I understand, if you sell drugs,
don't apologize for the mayor.
I'm trying to figure out what people
don't apologize for the
mayor. Hold on. No, listen. I think hold on. Amos Joy.
Okay, Pajoy. Amen. Okay, Pajoy, you were. Amen that the government taxing people for drugs. That's what I meant.
No. But
there are informal sectors of every economy. There are informal sectors of every economy.
1 second.
Yeah, I will be that naive. So I accept it. That what I meant.
No, listen.
There are people who use the data.
Terry's last explanation, he laid the basis, which of course.
Simple as that. Why are you making it to be like to say, I don't know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying it's a legal thing, but the way people got money, it goes back into the economy. We all benefit directly, indirectly, without us asking questions. Is this money a
simple?
Put it in his bank here. I think that's why he was explaining.
And for me, because people in Liberia use their data and they're on late listening to us, I think sometimes I want to clear it. I just want to see.
Right. I agree. Say you're right.
Because if I use the money and I go and open a store, or I purchase a vehicle and I have to pay taxes on that vehicle, that money is going right back to government. Or I got a store. I went and bought from this store. That store owner has the profit. He puts it back into the economy. Or am I even allowed to invest it in banks? Am I allowed to save it in banks? And are these banks even giving these out as loans and also getting interest on it, and thereby, putting it back into the economy? If that's what they was looking at it from, then I agree with him that he has a point there. But if you was looking at it from a whole different level, then
him. Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Okay, so let me ask Mr. Bacon. We are about to close up, but let's take her into the security world. There are two things kind of like running through my head here, and I'm just making it sort of a guess game. I believe Fatiga is there for operations, right? He's a deputy for operations, correct?
I think he's a director for administration, deputy director. He's a second in command.
He's deputy for operation.
No, he's for operation. He's for operation.
Operation, yeah.
Operation. So what I'm asking here in the security war, and we just do not know the change. Maybe like Sister said, we got to go back to this whole DEA. What is what? Now, when it comes to this sort of confiscation and drug bugs and all of those things. Most of the time, A.B. Krumah, of course, he's a director, and of course, so whatever at the end of the day, he gets the credit. Do you think, is it where this whole thing coming from? Who knows whether Fatiga himself wants to be before the camera to also exhibit his skills, his work style, but perhaps it's not happening. And two, he in his war here, the other flip side here that I'm seeing here, I wonder whether he's also regretting the incident because somebody provoked him who is not in the government because she says something, and that's what I'm coming for. The danger of people being influential in government because what her name, this lady on Spoon said, oh, she's one of those telling the other fighting guy, oh, you know, your brother getting that job, my role. And that's what prompted him to call. But at the same time, he remembered that the president reminded him, and this is why he been keeping out of the media space. But somebody have caused a situation now that prompted him to call. He, as a law enforcement, is there a breach right there?
Yes. You see, in law enforcement, it's confidence, confidence, confidence. You have to have that confidence. The person you and them going to raid or drugs area. Let's assume we'll have a strategic meeting or tactical meeting that will go on West Point tonight. There's some warehouse there that will need to bust that warehouse. And you had a tactical meeting and you had a strategy. Somebody in that meeting, if the morale is decayed, somebody will go and tip all that the warehouse owner or somebody within that agent will tip off somebody. You know what happened? Your life is in danger. So it is wrong. Even if you not agree with your boss, there is way and channel which you go through with your boss. And it is not something for us. So we're not running. They're not running competition here. He's your boss. He's a director. Let's flip it. Suppose he began director tomorrow. So we have to take all this. It's a life and death issue when you are a DA officer. Because you don't know the cartel where they are. So you always anticipate the unknown, the why you know, what you're going to do, your tactical, your strategy, what you're going to do. So that is my point I'm bringing. Because where two of them have a conflict, it's always bring the morale of that institution. And who knows?
Do you think he's regretting making that phone call live on Spoons, giving the narrative, the relationship, how this letter is close to the vice president? Because everything at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to call her in, and she's not going to call because. Do you think he's regretting that situation, placing that call after the president said they should keep out of the media space? Now he placed a call and he's, saying tip off a little bit, senators, official, you don't make me to talk. There is a commitment now, and we now know that somehow, directly, indirectly, there are other big insiders involved in this job by just hearing what he says today. So we will have to push him at the end of the day. Hey, this is what he said. Or can he say it's a slip of tongue?
No. No.
No, but Mr. So you're missing something. He was saying that it's AB connection with senators and things. His connection. That was the point he was making. That because of AB connection, people.
So in other words, what he's saying, because there are other hires up, not just only AB, there are other hires up in support of what AB is doing. And this is why maybe his own work is seen as an obstacle and seen to be the bad guy. So it means whatever AB is doing that we do not know, Fatika is telling us literally that, hey, this is not just only the work of AB. There are other people who are fighting me against the system. And he went on to say, why would two directors fight against one? So it means
Mr. And that's wrong to put it out in the public like that, Mr. So. He should have went through the chain of command.
That's what I'm
saying. So this is something that we gotta get straight here.
That's my point. I try to do.
Okay, let Jerry finish. I just wanted to make sure and get this whole thing. Yeah, Jerry, go ahead.
That is my point I'm making. Because we hire informers, and they informers they have to trust you. God, why the intelligence they are giving you that it was not leak out? Because the criminal then said they're smart. Let me say, in policing, the criminal are 10 steps ahead of the police. The crime have to be committed before we can find remedy to correct our issues. If the person come and break into the house,
manufacture the crown way ahead before you get.
Thank you.
So, Mr. So,
let me just say this. So, if Mr. Fatiga had issues, there's a way to address it. And in conclusion, we had the Senate Oversight Committee, we had the House of Representatives Oversight Committee, the place where they can have such a meeting where both of them can be brief what is going on. So
Mr. Bauman, let me ask you. So AB Command doesn't have any responsibility if there's a problem? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I said both of them. That's what I said. Both of them have to leave the seat.
But you have to follow official complaints of malfeasance to your superior.
Now you pushing here, you talking about Fatiga. But AB Command is the director. And if he had a problem with one of his deputies, he can go to the Minister of Justice.
We can really get a
conversation. He can go to the president.
You are the director. You are the director, or you are the deacon in the church. If somebody do something, you are the deacon. You're not going to go burst
Who the
out.
deacon?
I'm just saying for example.
In every organization, they encourage you to go to your superior, your immediate superior first before you go to HR or before you go to the president of the company.
If AB felt that his deputy is not respecting him, he goes to the Minister of Justice or to the president. But he cannot act upon that.
You read your letter. You read your complaint. You read your complaint to the Minister of Justice or to whosoever is in charge. That's
So
a
it's
change
both
of
ways. If AB felt that
I can't just go to the governor. I can't just go to the governor.
Can I ask a question?
My point.
But he can take certain measures to reprimand his subordinate. Definitely.
I don't want people to just think of Fatiga. If AB
Nobody has single Fatiga here. Nobody has single Fatiga here. Mr. John, nobody has single Fatiga here. Nobody has single Fatiga.
I continue to say that deputy. That why you continue to repeat, and that's why I'm
asking. Listen, this is what I said. I said if the deputy had issues, he had to go to his director. And
I'm saying if AB had problem with his deputies, he go to the Minister of Justice.
Can I interject something here?
No injection now. We're not putting nobody. We're not getting anybody RB now. So
please.
I the AB Kroma, you the Fatiga, and I'm the director of DEA. You meet me in the office tomorrow morning. Will you stop by my office, Chief? Hi, boss. How you doing?
Oh yeah.
No. You buy to join thing where I ask you, then you buy. You will not do it. I want to be in your church.
If tomorrow, right? And this is what, again, like I said, I trust the intellectual abilities of these two young men. But if I were the director, I as a director in my own area, I've had to have some conflict with people that report directly to me.
Okay.
And the way you handle that post-conflict or post-argument is you have to always be the bigger person. So I expect the director tomorrow to, in fact, to not text his deputy, I need to see you tomorrow morning at this time. Right. I've had a conversation with people who disagree with me.
That's what I'm saying.
My bosses in the department that I run. And I have to just take it there and we get back and we sit one-on-one and say, hey, tell me what's going on. What don't I know? What am I missing here? Explain to me what's going on. And sometimes as leaders, you sometimes get blind spots. And so tell me, bro, what's going on? What was so pressing that you couldn't come to me that you had to go to Spoon to talk this out? Let's talk it out. And I think that will show leadership. So I expect AB to do that tomorrow. I don't think the deputy will be able to go into the office, boss, I need to talk to you, we need to talk. It will kind of look, a little bit. But if AB invites him in, I think that's the beginning of progress.
But to add to what Sissy is saying, Mr. So, one of the things I admire of AB did not call on the show. Even though Stanton Waterspoon were pressing him to call in, AB did not call. He allowed his deputy to call and explain. That also is a leadership. He exercising leadership right there.
Yeah, why would you want to go on TV
to call and create a whole conflict?
AB had a press conference today.
Prior to
AB had your own press conference today.
Yes, exactly.
I know I saw the press conference, but what I mean to call in while his deputy were on the show. That's what I'm trying to talk about. I'm not talking about the press conference.
Listen, it was ABS who made a statement that Fatiga called her and said that he was going to damage.
I think she
I listened to it, but
no, Fatiga called her and told her to tell AB to watch his behavior. He was laying his complaint to his former wife.
Yes.
That lady should not even be between those two people. Those people should not even give her credence to allow her to come into security matters.
Yes. They were more beating your chest that if it's not because of her, Fatiga would not get a job because she didn't want to recommend him to her ex-husband.
Two of them, AB and Fatiga, it was she the one who recommended them.
Yeah, because you're on the rescue train raising money on Spoon. That power that it gives Spoon Network is what's coming back to bite them, and that's what we were exhausting in the beginning.
To the security-minded man, Mr. Bako.
Okay, guys.
If you don't mind, Mr. So.
The what?
Can I ask a question to Mr. Bako?
They say no injection. Yeah, still won't put.
I know. I want to ask a question. I'm not injection. Thank you so much.
So are we afraid of injection?
So no. So Fatiga is the director for operations. What is the function of the director for operations? Is he supposed to be sitting in the office or is he supposed to be on the field?
The director for operations.
Director or deputy for operations?
Deputy director for operations.
Yeah, so deputy, there you go. Deputy means you're subordinate to the director himself.
I said, what is his function? Is he supposed to be on the field or in the office?
When it comes to assigning for people to go on bust drugs and things, that falls within his purview.
He's supposed to see all the operations.
He's supposed to see that charge of
all the operation of the DA. He's supposed to see that.
Go there to deploy. That's within his purview.
So if you look,
but listen now, he always has to inform his boss.
There you go. I want to say about they're holding my birth. There you go. He has to inform the director.
The reason I asked the question,
inform his boss, gave him the plan, the layout before he can carry that operation.
Jerry, want to answer a question? So we'll go.
I mean, that's exactly what Mr. Just said. The director of operation, he runs our organization. So you oversee all the subordinate, the system director, the commander from the various counties and various cities and everything. He is the operation director, but you have to submit your plan. You cannot just do it unwillingly or unknowing to the director. That's it.
If you want to suspend any officer, you got to inform the director.
There you go. And he did those things while doing that.
Well, let me say.
And your boss can rebuff you if you submit it. Your boss can rebuff you. And Amy did that.
If you can do on the scene investigation and say you are suspended, and I will follow up with you and I will send it to the boss. What has suspended you? You got to justify why you suspended the
I think part of this whole thing here, Fatiga, is
okay. So anyway, good night. Tomorrow we'll
So, Mr. Bacon, 1 second. Were you the co-host tonight, or I don't know?
Terry.
I don't know.
Dr. Jones was cool. Dr. Jones was cool.
That's about the man did not have company. You myself last night there. And the man host a show. So
no.
You were carrying a complaint to live up because I never called him. So that is why Terry is that the trouble he's starting now.
Terry, the metro under the bus, the metro under the bus. You know, so that's what it is.
All right, gentlemen. Good night. Good night. It's been a good show.
Before you go, people the profile picture. Let's see it before you go.
Oh my man, stop that thing, man.
Please step for the camera. We're not looking.
All right, guys. Take care. Good night. Have a good and wonderful evening.
Have a good night, man.
Thank you so much. Josh, I'll be calling you right after the program.
Okay.
We do. I need to talk to you myself anyway.
Who's that?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you want me to pray for you?
No. I need to pray for you. Thanks.
You say I should call you?
Yeah, we'll talk later. Call. When you finish with George, I'm here.
Okay. Okay, folks, we want to thank you so much for the time shared this evening. Basically, all we try to do and what you are doing as well is find a solution to the many problems facing our country. It's everywhere. And I think there's a need, both men, there's some sort of disconnect. I see what is happening. Who knows? Maybe the man as an operation person, everybody wants to shine. And that's what happens sometimes when boss, and that's my own view, my own analysis. Sometimes if you don't give responsibility to your own person, then it get a little bit dicey. So he, as an operation person, oversees all operations within the DEA throughout the length and breadth. But of course, debriefing has to be provided to the overall boss, give the go-ahead, and get that implementation in place. But where is the disconnect? We don't know. Hopefully, we will find answers. Bottom line, we want the DEA to be more functional. We want to thank you so much. If this is the first time on this network, we say we are glad to have you. We will go back to your comments, your tweet, your agreement, disagreement, and of course, always welcomed. Lpr, we intend not to leave no one behind in the national conversations. For those of you that call in, we want to say thank you so much. Your contributions. But however, things on this network, it is not the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio, but we do facilitate these hardcore conversations for the good of the country. And this is why we always accommodate all voices, as long as those conversations are conducted in a civil context. Thank you so much. The Liberal Progressive will be here tomorrow. We say congratulations to the Liberal. The Liberal dollar is rioting. I believe I expected he sent me some images for us to showcase, but that's who he is. He's liberal. He wants to do it by himself, and that's why I didn't call his name. I don't even think that tonight was his slot. So if he even wants to take it off tomorrow, that's fine. What again? If you are here in the USA, in Liberia, and you have an event that you need coverage, let us know. So no matter where you are, we can reach that. Coming soon on Liberia Public Radio. I remember.
Life is a journey, and as you travel down the line, you may remember something. The joy and tragedy in a story manner.
I'd like to remember that at one point of my life, growing up was very, very difficult for me as a child.
The Liberia Public Radio gives you the opportunity in a live interview to express your past. In this program, I remembered.
I remember, and I will never forget my day of salvation. And I remember growing up as a child, when I lost my dad, it was a very terrible time of healing.
Join Benjamin Tibet, our international correspondent, on +225 07 4770 9404, +225 0505 67 5438. I remembered the podium where your voice is heard.
I remember coming soon on LPR with our Abidjan's international correspondent Benjamin Tibet. Real-time life story will tell you exactly people's experiences in the past and in the present. I remember real-time conversation will be taking place right here on the Diaspora Informative News Network here from Abidjan, right here, coming soon here. And on the 21st, 22nd of this month, our friend and brother, comrade Sam G. Brown, will be laid to rest right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. Sam passed away recently. He will be laid to rest right here in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. Our prayers and thought goes out to the family. Liberia Public Radio will be on the scene to bring you to the final homegoing of Comrade Sam G. Brown. Also, our prayers and thought go out to the wife, children of Comrade Kevin Tedwegi, just a couple of days apart. He passed away in neighboring to Massachusetts in the town of Taunton as well. We yet to get information as to whether our last visited. It will be sometime at the end of this month, but the family has yet to announce the homegoing. Our prayer and thought goes out to all of the bereaved family. Again, if you have an event, graduations, anniversary, conventions, whatever event that you think worth sharing to the public and get some public attention. So you have a business, you want to advertise, reach out 682-433-8802 and let us know, and we will form part of your work. Until then, time check here is 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We went way over the top today, way over the top. But I think it's good for the good of the country. To all our callers, onliners, your engagement, your tweet, your interactions, it's all good for the country. Have a pleasant event. And the Liberal will be here. We'll be here tomorrow with the Liberal in tomorrow's editions of Conversation with Something Told. Have a pleasant night. Bye-bye.
You know, my guy get what you Mamu's your way, baby. Was your way. Makia gets a well, I wrote. Mamma, if you don't go your way. Mamma gets a well, I wrote. Go be war, Jaya Crow, go be. Oh, Mamma, Jalo gave Roger.
Yet we say good evening to the national cheerleader, I believe a sister, national sister bond, United Sister Bond, Ilasa got played right there in Philadelphia. Good evening to Poor. Good evening. Thank you so much, SB. Thank you for being here and all of you great people. We are always thrilled to see you guys here. If this is the first time, we say thank you so much, Lydia Jones. So, Fatuma, this song here says the Liberal is bringing something to town on this network. So please leave the Liberals. Good evening, Fatu. Thank you so much for always being here. Esther, I believe I saw Esther, Madam Clark here as well. Thank you so much, and all of you great guys, always being here. Elijah, always good to have you here. Anitoba, Caroline Smith, Sadatu Masale, Jane Zia, Ricky Davison, Richie, thank you so much. London Smith, Willabor, and all of you, Ojuku, thank you so much. Victor Morgan, Mambat, George, Rocky, Esther, yes, Esther Clark Fredericks, this is our pronto follower, Rebecca, thank you so much, Mommy, and all of you. Have a pleasant evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
That's your way. See, I get Rodney. John Dolu.